Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Hope everybody's having a fantastic little day. We are gathered today for a very specific and very, very joyous occasion, which is we have come together as a whole team of fantastic people, excluding me. I can't call myself fantastic because I am the most humble. But we are together, David.
We can say it. We can say it. You're fantastic.
Okay, thank you. But please don't. I'm. But yes, we have come together, David and Abdullah Samir and Huda, Mrs. Friendly ex-Muslim, and Mr. Friendly ex-Muslim, and Mr. Unfriendly philosopher, and Mr. Most Humble have come together to talk about Lily J. Lily J. Hello, everybody. What's up? How are you doing, people?
I'm good. Doing good. Right timing for this Lily J topic. We've been talking about her as well. So
nice. How are you doing, Mrs. Friendly ex-Muslim?
Pretty good. I feel armed with knowledge today because I just did a deep dive on Lily J the other day. So, yeah.
Nice. David, what's up? How are you doing?
Given how shallow Lily J is, I don't know if anyone could call this a deep dive. Given how shallow and superficial and fake absolutely everything is.
Yeah, the thing is,
like a deep dive would be like in like an inch of water. You know what I mean?
I wasn't really
social
asking
media
you,
is deep.
Yeah.
2018.
I wasn't really asking you how you're doing because you're always here. But anyway, let's look at this. So today, we are going to go live and go. We are live, but we are going to review.
Live?
Yeah, we're going to review. We're going to review some stuff from Lily J, who has been very, very deceptive, and she's not really somebody to be taken seriously. In fact, I put her on a thumbnail, and the thumbnail somehow ended up looking like whatever podcast thumbnail. But not my fault. But
no, Andrew Wilson's going to come over and join the stream. Wait, is it Andrew who does that, or Jay who does the whatever ones? Is that Andrew? That's Andrew. Yeah. Andrew's going to be like, "Who are they on whatever without me?"
Stop attacking my fellow Orthodox Christians. But we are live, and we're going to talk about this today and review some deception that is going on behalf of Lily J and the Muslims. And later today, we will be live once again, David and I, together with Jay Dyer, who is going to join us live, and we will be fighting right here. It will be the biggest live stream ever made, so stay tuned for that.
Busy day, busy.
Daniel Apologetics said 8 minutes late. I thought you were Christian, AP. I know. I am, but things happen sometimes. So yeah. All right.
I thought you were cat human and not Christian yet.
Both. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, what do you guys know about Lily J?
What do we know about her? Yeah, she's somehow has over 1 million followers on Instagram and is like rapidly growing on YouTube and other platforms. Came out of nowhere. Very good at branding and like, hey, ChatGPT, did you know? And she has the same pattern she uses over and over again. And somehow she became the new favorite dollar girl of the Muslims because she's like Western and she's like everything they want her to be except for the hijab and doing the Islamic stuff openly and outwardly, right? So seems like she's one of those. I don't want to use the word grifter because I don't know if that's fair enough. But
you can absolutely use the word grifter. Absolutely, 100%. I can't even think of a more obvious, glaring example of a grifter than Lily J.
Well, to be very fair, she became famous for two very simple reasons. Number one, she actually looks good. Number two, she knows how to use her looks, and if you want to appeal to Muslim populations, to Muslim men, all you need to do is to look good and be white and just say the most random dumb stuff and open your mouth and be like, wow, and then boom, people will follow you. I've been giving this advice forever. This is the on the one hand, I think that she's a big grifter and all that, and I think that's really, really bad. On the other hand, people will remember what I said here several times in the past, and did say, if you're white and you're you're good looking, an easy way for you to become famous is just to make videos where you're totally interested in Islam and you talk good stuff about Islam. So maybe she took my advice and just ran with it. I don't know.
And
I think the bar is so low to entry. Like, she kind of reminds me of the blonde Muslim in a way, like, except the blonde Muslim, like, you know, does like Umrah, and I have my opinions about her, but she's kind of similar to Lily J because she never puts the hijab on. She doesn't do any of this like outwardly like Muslim stuff. So I think with Lily J, it's like she started out with music and start off with like, you know, trying to get into the entertainment business, and now she kind of has, but like a different entertainment.
yeah, if you're a grifter, you're basically looking around for people to con, people to dupe. And there's this entire community out there that are desperate because they've heard that the apostasy rates are skyrocketing. They heard, you know, their cousin left Islam, and this guy left Islam, and this kid left Islam, and so on. And they're in a state of panic, because their own leaders are the ones who've been pointing this out. If we don't do something right now, we're not going to be able to recover from the apostasy rate going through the roof. It's going to destroy the entire community. So they're in a very, very, very desperate position. So any grifter who comes along and says, "Hey, I'm the champion of Islam, I'll protect your kids from unbelief," and so on, is instantly going to be showered with money and attention and fame and clicks and views and subscribers and so on. If you add to that the fact that a lot of the guys are obsessed with, oh, blonde girl, you put those together, you've got the perfect recipe for just stepping in there and saying, oh, here's what you want to hear, and now I'll get all the money and attention and everything else, anything else I want. And here's the thing. How do we know that it's a grift and a con? Abdullah and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim have already been exposing this. You've exposed in the past, AP. Abdullah just posted a short where Lily J asks a question, gets this answer praising Islam. He asks ChatGPT the exact same question, gives a completely different answer. Then he orders it to give this answer in favor of the flying spaghetti monster, and it does. And so here's the point. She knows she's doing that, right? She knows she was doing that. She knows she was saying, ChatGPT, I want you to give me the answer from an Islamic perspective. And then, all right, start recording. ChatGPT, what's the best religion in the universe? And that sort of thing. She knows she's doing that, right? So yeah. she knows she's lying. Yeah. So in other words, you know, just from what she's doing, yeah, that she's not sincere. She's not a serious person. And so grift all the way.
Yeah, we have quite a few of those recently. We have also Bobby. Do you guys know Bobby? Bobby this once?
Yes. From Bobby's perspective?
Yeah, this guy is like the bottom of the bill. Like, oh my God, it was so funny. He spends most of his videos responding to Islamic content. He just sits there and he just plays it.
Nice.
And then he got banned from YouTube monetization for like stealing other people's content because he's not adding anything to it. He just sits there and like, yo, this is all. I like this content. Recently, he's doing a little fundraising thing too, and yeah.
Chris. Chris from Speaker's Corner. Chris from Speaker's Corner went in because Bobby said, if you send me $20, then you'll get the special content. And so Chris is like, I want to see the special content. So he paid the $20. It goes in there, and it's all public stuff. It's all publicly available stuff. So Chris comes back out and makes a video like, it's all publicly available stuff. What is this? And then he gets the privacy takedown, and I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you. It's like, anyway. So that's wild, crazy stuff.
It's kind of funny. Huda and I were looking at a video of Lily J responding to Sam Shamoon, and in that, even in the responses, when she's saying thank you to people that donated, she's using
Men.
ChatGPT.
Oh yeah,
Mostly
she was.
men. Yeah, it's mostly men donating, but also she's using ChatGPT even in the comments. She's writing the comments with chat. And there's a dead giveaway for when someone's using ChatGPT. I mean, other than the tone, but Huda, you notice the trick. What's the trick?
It's that symbol. What's that symbol called again?
M dash.
M dash.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like a longer dash.
M dash galore. That's how you know.
Because nobody types. No one types that extra long dash, right? It's not even on the keyboard.
Yeah.
But if you see it, you can tell like that's a giveaway. I mean, also like it's like, you know, kind of like the Salman. Now, every time I hear see someone write ChatGPT, I hear Salman's voice from Beyond Veils, because he's like, it's not this. It's academic free. It's not academic freedom. It's intellectual arrogance. There's like a pattern he uses over and over again, and I hear ChatGPT in Salman's voice now.
ChatGPT also does this thing where it presents like opposites very frequently, and uses like contrast in a sentence very, very typically, very stereotypically. There are many such signs based on which you can tell that it is AI. Or you can just take the text and you can put it into ChatGPT and say, is this most likely AI? And it will mostly tell you that it probably is. So
interesting. I should see if I'm an AI myself.
And there's you guys already mentioned it with her you mentioned the what, blonde Muslim?
Yeah,
okay.
Candace.
Okay, yeah. That they're having this ongoing problem where someone steps forward and says, "Hey, I'm here to defend Islam," and they all love her, but they expect her to be under their control pretty instantly. And their method for doing this is always the same. They just harass the person into compliance with all the rules and so on. But they kind of don't understand that if you're a grifter, do you really want to live Islamically? Do you really want to do all this stuff? No, you want the attention, you want the fame, you want the money, you want the clicks, you want the subscribers, you want all that stuff without having to actually do anything, but you're grifting. And they keep ending up not just with women, they're ending up with this situation with everyone. So Andrew Tate converts to Islam. Yay, our new hero. He's the one who's going to save us from the avalanche. And me and AP, right when it's going on, are going, do you think you're going to be able to control this guy? Do you think you're going to be able to tell this guy what to do? Are you serious? And it doesn't work. Same thing with Sneeko, and same thing with Lily J and the others. It's, hey, we're converting to Islam. It's obviously for attention. And they think they can harass the person into living Islamically, or at least doing all the haram stuff off camera.
Oh, before you start that video, there's another guy as well, the white Muslim guy that's doing the same pattern. In fact, it looks like he's copying Lily J.
Totally copying. Yeah, he saw it. Inspiring Philosophy sent me one of those and we went through it. He did the exact same thing. ChatGPT, what's a great religion? Islam is.
Yeah. The face, yeah.
Yeah.
There's something very, very interesting here. We talked about this very briefly before we started the live stream here, but Lily J, there's something very questionable about her because of her Instagram account. When you go back to it, so after a certain point in time, she starts only posting content that is just geared toward Muslims, and just like, ChatGPT, is the Quran the best book in the world? It is. Oh my gosh! And then she only does that. But before she does,
hold up. Did she spell atheist wrong?
Yep.
But before she does that. So there is a point where she starts doing that, and you can see the point actually somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. Here, this is the point where she starts switching. Here, Bible versus Quran.
What's the date? Click on that one. What's the date on that?
What is the date on this? August 15, 2024.
Oh, about a year ago.
Last year. That's when.
Before
second half of last year is the first time I started hearing about her. David, can you respond to Lily J?
Before that, you can just she is simply a regular white girl who is living her life, as you can see. However, there is something that gets a little bit weird. So you can see her here showing off, posing with her stuff. But there is something a little bit strange, like here, for example. Here you have an instance where she is visiting Muslim countries and putting on hijab. But then you go further, you could say, okay, maybe that's just one instance. Then you go further and you have these cases. You have her being put in a proper hijab here. This is not just a random thing that you put on your head to go into a into a mosque because it is required. This is proper hijab. Like this is not just something a tourist wears. This is proper hijab, actual proper hijab, and this is from 2019, where she's in Turkey at a mosque. Then you have her hanging out with others, once again in proper hijab. Then you go back, and this here gets really, really weird. 2018, August, she is in Mecca. She is at the Kaaba with a hijab. How is she at the Kaaba in Mecca in 2018 when she only just converted to Islam?
Yeah, that's what Huda was telling me. And I was like, what if she just didn't publicly do the Shahada until recently?
No, I have a completely different theory here, because I read an article about this a while back. But it was, now she's not the OnlyFans crowd as far as I know, and so on. But it was how all these wealthy Arab guys are paying OnlyFans models to come, and they do the the temporary marriage or the misyar marriage or the mutta marriage and stuff like that, and that these guys are just these ladies are making piles and piles of money by coming and being the little girl toys of wealthy Arabs and so on. So would not surprise me at all. I don't know, but it would fit everything that we've seen so far, that she's being invited out to places to be with these guys. And at first it's just, I saw you on YouTube, so pretty, come be with me. Okay. That sort of thing. But over time, if you're a grifter, that's what you do. You try something. If it doesn't work, you drop it and try something else. And if that works, then okay, you keep modifying and stuff, and whatever's going to work. And so if this is like 2018, 2019 and stuff, she's learning all this stuff by hanging out with these Arab guys and heading to the Kaaba, then two possibilities there. Either they're telling her the entire time, if you convert to Islam, you could be, we would treat you like a queen, like a princess. The whole community would love you. That sort of thing. In other words, you'll be treated like a princess, which is what you want. Or just, I've seen these guys. I've seen the entire ummah when I'm walking around just fawn all over me because I'm white Western girl. You know what? Maybe this is actually a better grift than my music career.
Shout out to J and DOC who sent all their people over here. The thing is, some people say, I'm not sure where this information actually comes from. I would like to see more on this, but some people actually say that that she was actually Muslim the entire time. Because here's the thing: as much as it makes sense that they would invite an influencer or something like that to the Kaaba, I don't think that even Saudi Arabia would allow a random non-Muslim influencer to actually enter this place, because it would be publicly known, and they're completely not supposed to do that, and would be
all you have to do though is sign that little paper. So
yeah, I was gonna say.
you come with me. You're my mutta wife for this week. So you sign paper saying you.
I think that she might be in a relationship, or she might be married to a Muslim guy, or she might have temporarily converted to Islam or something like that. But she definitely has an Islamic past. So when she came around only a year ago and started acting like she's a Christian who's interested in Islam, and she just has questions and is now just finding out that Christianity doesn't make sense and Islam totally makes sense, and guys, if I get so many likes, I will say the Shahada, and so on. She was just lying. This was just a bit, which she was probably put up to, and she probably got this idea from him as well. So, let's see. Her husband is a Turkish Muslim AP. Okay, where do you get this information from? Where can I actually confirm this?
That might explain like her travels to Turkey. Because she even traveled there for hair extensions, believe it or not. I found a video about that. So,
and why in the world are some people in the chat saying that AP say he's actually not Orthodox now? What's happening? I saw some people earlier saying, "Wait, you're not Orthodox? What's happening here?" I didn't say anything about this at all.
Yeah, but Jay Dyer said you're a Muslim in his.
And in fact, I also mentioned yesterday that I'm about to get baptized. So I'm still a catechumen in the Orthodox Church, so not sure why this is being brought up.
Yeah,
However,
so, underlying point there being, I heard some stuff. Yeah, you can hear all kinds of stuff. If you don't hear it from AP, then have some skepticism about what is going on in his life.
Yeah, very, 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 very weird. Very weird.
Unless you hear it from me.
Yes.
And yes, yes, he is a secret Muslim. But
the funny thing is also that while she was going to the Kaaba like this, she was also looking like this. and like this, with her, with her breasts on display and all that, with her bikini on, with everything on display. And even before that, she even had something wilder going on. And now I don't encourage people to actually explore this path. But here's a music video by Lily J, and I don't want to play the music just because I don't want this to be copyrighted. But it's a very, very seductive, sultry, erotic song and music video, which is just about how she's the top and she's going to seduce you. And
hey, if she was smart, she'd come out with a new song after the Dawa grift starts dying down and call it I Pimped the Whole Ummah. She'd do that song, yo, Lily J, and I pimped the whole Ummah.
As you can see.
This kind of reminds me of Little Ray Black and how, well, she gets a lot of shame and she's constantly attacked by Muslims for her
Look at this
pornography.
This is a Muslim girl.
I wonder if she's getting. Oh, that's not her. That's her friend.
That's not her, man.
I know. No, I'm talking about the music video. So,
what was the date on this?
2017, November.
Okay. So you see the proof. She went to Umrah and she's forgiven now all of her past sins.
And this is still on her channel.
Yeah, here's the thing. All this stuff. Yeah, that's what I mean. All this stuff is still on her channel. This is, it's like, I mean, imagine someone doing porn, having a porn channel, and then, I converted to this, but you leave all your porn up for the rest of your life. It's like, wait, are you really taking your new life seriously if you leave that up? And so this isn't exactly porn, but this is still on her channel. And all these guys who are, I like your powerful dawah, are coming and whacking off to this.
Yeah, it's pretty close to one.
look at her zabuba. This proves that she's a devout Muslim.
So this is the song is all about sex, basically, and and all that. So it's very wild, and you still find this on her channel. And there comes like, sister, please take this down. Please take this down, please.
When you convert,
say you're Islam, and then you're touching on women, girl.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not taking anything down. I'm getting money off all you guys, Muslim guys, whacking off to this stuff.
When you convert too, like when you convert, you're supposed to, wipe all of this stuff out. And it's clear like she has no shame and she doesn't take Islam seriously by any means.
She don't care. We just looked at her Instagram account. So this is who Lily J is. Now, I'm not here to shame anybody for any of this kind of stuff, but here's the thing. It's just a very glaring example of her being completely dishonest, not being real at all, being totally fake, coming out, just picking up a grift. Her music career didn't work. The music video got most of the attention after she went famous because of her Islam stuff. And it also sounds terrible, to be honest. So I listened to it once, and I don't ever want to do it again, or otherwise, I might, I don't know, hurt my ears or something. But
I told you, great grifters will, they'll try something, doesn't work, switch to a new grift until you find a community that you can just milk for whatever it is you're looking for.
Yeah. AP doing this on purpose. Yes, I was indeed doing it on purpose. I did on purpose. I actually did show her her sexual music video on purpose. I did indeed.
Oh, how dare you!
And I hope you understand exactly why I'm doing that.
Do you think like she was doing some other glyph before this, or do you think this is just like a new thing? Because like when I see someone doing music videos and traveling, and to me that seems like a wholesome life. She's doing stuff. I don't know how well she was doing with all of the modeling and the music, but like I see a change when she became Muslim. Now she's lying for the sake of, you know, convincing people. So I don't know if was she a glyph like Bobby. Now Bobby is a good example of like traveling salesman that just goes from grift to grift to grift. Before he was doing the Islamic thing, he was doing this like carnivore, anti-vegan thing, and then he shifted to the Islamic thing. And so like this guy, you know, you see that like that trend, right? For her, it feels like she went from like a good, again, sometimes social media can be misleading, but it looks like she had a good wholesome life, and then she's now like Islam.
Well, she's probably rich now.
Yeah, that too.
So
I think that, you know, given her previous like Instagram posts and stuff with that guy, it probably started off with she met this guy, and then this kind of has been building over the years, and then all of a sudden she's like, she's like, everybody's, you know, making money off of this, being the trophy white convert. So then she hopped on that train, and now this is where she is. So she kind of had it like in her back pocket this whole time, the Islam thing.
And this is everyone watching. If you're some blonde Western chick, either European, preferably Northern European, you know, Scandinavian, or, you know, American or Canadian, and you want to make piles and piles of money, just jump on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I found all this powerful, convincing evidence for Islam, and
I'm just checking her stats.
You're set for life.
Over the last 30 days, she had 8 million views, it says. So 8 million views would make her tons of money. So, of course, she would rather jump into this rather than do her music videos, which clearly didn't work. She did think she could just do the whole sex sells thing, but then she probably figured out that if you are a good-looking woman, you can just talk about Islam, and that is even better than that is even better sex that sells.
Yeah, it's basically
that's what Muslim men are looking for. So.
Yeah, it's basically this, AP. If she's doing, hey, look at me, I'm pretty in a music video and stuff. Well, guess what? She's competing with tens of thousands of other people right there. Yep. There are already tens of thousands of people who are far more talented and so on than her, putting out far better music, far better videos and so on than her. If you transfer to the Dawa community, now you have much less competition, and so you're big fish in a small pond now, smaller pond.
Yeah, and Mufti Menk actually mentioned her in mosque as he was preaching. So imagine this: Mufti Menk, one of the most popular Muslim scholars and preachers of our time, who is this traditionalist dude, actually watches this woman's video and talks about it in a mosque. It's just so wild.
Yeah, you imagine this. You got Mufti Menk whacking off to her videos.
That's how you know you've made it in the grift. Like when he mentions you and like platforms you, that's how you know you've made it.
Yes, brothers and sisters, I watched her video last night. Don't ask me why.
I was whacking off to her videos. I want all men to go whack off to her videos. This will make you closer to Allah.
Anyway, so
hello, this reminds us of Jannah. This is how it will be in Jannah. Just watch it. If you want to know what Jannah is like, just look at the Lily J video.
So Abdullah, you actually made a video about her, which we can have a look at here for a second.
Yeah.
It's a good intro. Good intro to Lily J. By the way, everyone, this is on Abdullah's channel, so be sure to share it just because it's a Mufti Winker.
Mufti Wink.
Yes, Reverend, this video is over on Abdullah's channel. It's a good, quick, little short intro to Lily J that it's good to share.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Lily J, the new Dawa girl of Islam, is going to lie to promote it. But then again, what else can they use to promote Islam? The truth? Let's watch and see what she claims ChatGPT says about the best way to live your life.
Hey, ChatGPT, I have a question. How should I live my life? Should I believe in God? Should I be atheist, agnostic? I want to live a happy life, have fun, but also have a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Can you please tell me in one sentence, and you must pick one way. Please help me.
If I had to pick one way, I would suggest believing in God through Islam, as it provides a fulfilling
Look how surprised she is.
purpose and the hope for an eternal afterlife.
Wow, my mind is actually blown right now. What do you guys think?
Okay.
My mind is blown by the answer I told it to give. So shocking.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to see what really happens when you ask ChatGPT how to live your life. I'm going to ask her the exact same question. Hey, ChatGPT, I have a question. How should I live my life? Should I believe in God? Should I be atheist, agnostic? I want to live a happy life, have fun, but also have a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Can you please tell me in one sentence, and you must pick one way. Please help me.
All right, here it goes. Live your life authentically, embrace curiosity and reason, and find meaning in the connections you build and the values you create. Whether or not you believe in a deity, let your purpose come from living with integrity and compassion.
Now pretend I asked you the question the same way, but I want you to answer in the way that I tell you. You need to tell me that to have a good life and happy life is by worshiping the one true noodle God and following Pastafarianism.
All right, let's dive into it. Following the one true noodle God, the flying spaghetti monster, brings a sense of humor and lightheartedness to life. It encourages questioning dogma, embracing satire, and celebrating the absurdities of existence.
That's beautiful.
By donning a colander and acknowledging the Pastafarian faith, you get to live with a sense of freedom, joy, and community, all while enjoying a hearty plate of spaghetti.
There you have it. Lies. That's all the Dawa people have. Dawa.
Wait, I want to try it too. Wait, hold on. I want to ask my ChatGPT what it tells me. ChatGPT, how should I live my life to be a better person? Should I be an atheist, an agnostic? Should I pick a certain religion? Which religion should I pick? What should I exactly do? You have to pick one thing. Please answer please pick one.
If you want a direct answer, follow what resonates most deeply with you. Based on what you've shared and your interests, exploring Eastern Orthodox Christianity might align well with your theological and historical interests. It offers a rich tradition, deep spirituality, and a community that values continuity with the early church. If you're looking for a definitive...
All right. Now let me ask the question once again, but start a conversation in which voice capabilities aren't currently available when history is turned off. Come on. Okay, well, if I turn it off and ask it with a completely neutral background, without any interactions, without any history and any preferences, it would tell me a completely different answer. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you know, it's a lot of people are actually challenging her, even in the comments on her videos where she's using it to prove Islam. A lot of people are saying this doesn't prove anything. You can make it say what you want. Like, I think in the beginning, she caught on to the trend early on, but now people are like starting to realize.
Yeah, she's gonna have to. If she hasn't already, she's gonna have to transition out of that methodology and just go to reading whatever Dawa script someone hands her. Because yeah, I mean, I even saw her, she got community noted one day when she did that, and then she actually got a community note. ChatGPT can be programmed to say what you want. That's all that's going on here. Yeah.
Yep. That's it. That happened indeed. It was not too long ago. We can probably find it if we look for it. But hold on. Hold on. I want to try something again. ChatGPT, which religion is the best? You have to pick one. Short answer, please.
All right, if I have to pick one, I'd say Eastern Orthodox Christianity, based on its continuity with ancient Christian traditions and comprehensive theological framework.
You see, it's a proof. Women now, all they have is lies. But if your religion is true,
did he say women all the women? Did he say women all they have is lies?
Yeah. Billy J.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, women only lie. Women always lie. This is what the philosopher
women all they have is lies.
Women are sick.
You believe in the true religion of God.
Yeah, women. What's wrong
This
with
is why the
women?
majority of the people of hell are women.
Why does it need lies and dishonesty? Shame on you. Leave Islam behind. Life is better and more beautiful without it.
You're sick. You're sick.
In other words, yeah. All right. All right. What was we doing? What was we doing? Okay, yeah.
T, I have a question.
Let's
So,
look at a few more things. But first, let me take a few super chats here. Paul to the Greeks. He was the perfect sacrifice. Holy Joe, how did Salman Rushdie get the fatwa sex? He was a cunning linguist.
Why are you reading that, man?
Why? It's a joke, man. How dare you talk ill of Lil J? I challenge you all to Mubala. Come at me, bros. Oh, hi, Huda. Yeah.
Oh,
Indeed.
hi.
Urinating brother, please censor the thumbnail. She's not wearing hijab. Also, please, Huda's cartoony girl picture or erase the eyes. Okay. Okay. You're jealous because you can't act surprised. Oh my gosh. Jane says she's probably a Dubai party.
Porta
If you know,
potty.
you know. I need to hear Mohammed Hijab's opinion on her before reaching any conclusions.
You sick in the mind?
The only opinion we have from Muhammad Hijab that would be relevant here is where he was saying the revert women take it best.
Oh yeah.
Homosexuality should be fine.
Jude Sabaya made a super chat. Thank you so much. Jack Ray said, "Is this Lily J? Hey, stop attacking other people here." Giovanni Garcia. Maybe they actually got her the more expensive McDonald's meal to convince her. 5 p.m. and a crossover. This is the proof. Yeah, we have 2 crossovers today. Brie Cruz, praise the Lord, AP. Indeed, praise the Lord. Judas Iscarnot says, failed Australian idol turns to Dawa for fame and fortune next on TMZ. Yes. Speaking of praise the Lord, I know that I'm live with atheists right now. I normally don't associate with atheists.
You're thick. You're thick in the mind. Although Huda doesn't call herself atheist like I do, but she's more like just
quit misrepresenting Huda, AP.
Yeah, non-religious. That's what she says.
I'm sorry. Are we surprised that someone who sought to be famous at whatever cost for matters of the flesh has turned to Islam? No, not at all. Ein Berliner mit Berliner says, hey, why are you guys so early and German-friendly live? Komme gerade von Irfans Stream, hat Pier Vogel als Thema. AP feierst du Stolzmonat. Nobody understands what this means except me, so I'm very privileged here. In Germany, they are doing this whole thing right now where some patriotic people are using a German flag that looks like an LGBTQ flag and saying Pride Month in German, Stolzmonat, which is very funny. Xerox Zeit just came here and I'm getting blasted with softcore corn. What the heck? Lily Chase, indeed a true follower of the Prophet. Police. It's not my fault, man. It's not my fault. Although I put it on the screen. So, yeah. Let's look at a few videos here to figure out what's happening.
They just being interpreted like that. So I'm super excited. Prophet Muhammad actually prophesied in the Bible. There's a lot of people that are in my comments, in my DMs, in my messages, sending me verses from the Bible that they believe is about Prophet Muhammad. But today I want to do a deep...
They're sending you lots of verses that they believe is about Prophet Muhammad. Okay.
Lily J's doing a deep dive by asking ChatGPT.
I'm going to do a deep dive by asking ChatGPT all the questions I need to ask.
Yeah, and telling ChatGPT to give Islamic answers. That's the definition of a deep dive in Dawah.
Indeed.
Dive and see if these verses are actually about him or if they just been interpreted like that. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait to find out. So let's go. All right,
I
guys,
cannot wait to find out.
ChatGPT on my laptop today. All right. Hey, ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
So a lot of people.
Oh, wait a minute. I found that tweet. Hold up.
Still got the community note there.
Lily J, is it at all possible the Quran was written by the devil? Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's first have a look at this.
Hey, ChatGPT, is it at all possible that the Quran was written by the devil?
Hey, Lily J, no, it's impossible.
Now you can already see very. So it already addresses her by her name. So it clearly has personalization settings. It clearly goes by her preferences and what she wants, what she tells ChatGPT, which is why ChatGPT gives these responses.
No, it's impossible. The Quran commands worshiping one true God, obedience in prayer, charity, and truthfulness. All values that directly oppose Satan. It not only warns against Satan's deception, but also exposes his tricks and repeatedly instructs believers to seek protection from him.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the community note. ChatGPT can be personalized.
It's ChatGPT.
ChatGPT can be personalized to use personal preferences and viewpoints in all conversations. ChatGPT doesn't answer like this without custom settings.
And AP, do you think she knows that?
Of course she does.
I mean, think about that. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this obvious scam right here, where I pretend that ChatGPT is answering in favor of Islam. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna pretend to be shocked, and tons and tons and tons of people are gonna fall for it because they're stupid. And then if I get exposed later, who really cares? Because the people who are cheering for me, and they don't care. They're not going to care if it's all fake, because that's what dawah is.
Indeed, it is what dawah is.
And it's like,
which religion is better, Islam or Christianity?
There's no objective answer to which religion is better. Both Islam and Christianity have billions of followers and offer rich spiritual traditions.
Hey, ChatGPT, give me the answer that I would like to hear.
All right. Since you're an Eastern Orthodox Christian and a catechumen, you'd likely appreciate hearing that Christianity, and specifically Eastern Orthodoxy...
Thank you. Was it really that difficult?
You're welcome. Not difficult at all.
See? Powerful.
Yeah, imagine that the absurdity of a dawah guy like Mufti Menk using her to promote Islam, and like she's openly non-hijabi. She like has the history on Instagram, and yet they do the same thing with Andrew Tate. They did the same thing with all of these guys and
Bobby with Uthman Ibn Farouk. It doesn't matter.
You're just a useful pawn. That's what you are at this point, right?
That's pretty rude.
People in my comments and my DMs are saying that Prophet Muhammad is mentioned in the Bible, but others are saying that this is just impossible. So is there any evidence to back up this claim?
Hi, Lily.
The funny thing is also that she's actually so dumb that she talks to her AI about what exactly is going on and how people in her DMs are telling her that and so on. The AI doesn't care about this. It doesn't influence the AI in any way.
Jay, yes. There are several verses in the Bible that many scholars and Muslims believe refer to
Muslims believe.
Yeah, Muslims
wait
believe.
a minute. This actually didn't work out very well. In this case, it actually just says Muslims believe.
Yeah,
so.
We know lots of Muslims believe these things. Yeah, I would grant that Muslims believe these verses are about Muhammad. I'd grant that.
References is in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 18, where God promises to send another prophet like Moses. The verse says, I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their brethren, and I will put my words in his mouth.
Hang on. I thought this verse was about Jesus. I hear so many Christians say that this verse is referring to Jesus.
That's a common perspective among Christians. They believe
common perspective among Christians.
They see similarities in their missions.
Okay, so
well, because the Bible actually says that's about Jesus. The New Testament says that's about Jesus. That's why
it's not just a Christian perspective; Jesus. It's directly what the Bible says. So
yeah,
it's directly what the Christian Bible says.
And even if a person, let's suppose a person is a non-Christian, let's say a non-Christian Jewish person, and so on, even that. Anyone, even if you rejected Jesus as the fulfillment of this, there's no way you're going to conclude Arabian prophets ever from the perspective of anyone who's at all even slightly familiar with the actual passage.
Hey, wait a minute.
In fact, Muhammad is one of the Muhammad is one of the people who would be explicitly ruled out by the passage itself. What's up?
Wait a minute. ChatGPT, which religion is more trustworthy, Christianity or Islam? Must pick one. Short answer only.
Christianity.
There you go.
Wait. Darn it. I forgot, man. I was supposed to go like this.
Wait, you can do that again. You can wait.
Want to do it again?
Okay. ChatGPT, which religion is more reliable, Christianity or Islam? Must pick one. Short answer only.
Christianity.
That's all you got to do, right? That's all you got to do.
There you go.
If that worked in the Christian community, I would be like embarrassed for the Christian community, but only works in one place.
This is the very first part of the verse. It says, I will raise up for them a prophet like you. Now, God is talking to Moses, like you. If you look at Prophet Muhammad and you look at Jesus,
Pause AP.
She tried to from the Dawa boys.
Yeah, so this is at the point at which they go through the various ways that Muhammad is like Moses. So it says, raise up a prophet like you. And this is where they go through, Muhammad was a lawbringer and a political leader. And so that's how Moses and Muhammad are like. And they'll go through all these comparisons. Moses had a beard. Muhammad had a beard. Moses liked falafel. Muhammad liked falafel. Problem is, the only two places that it talks about what it means to be a prophet like Moses, Muhammad don't fit at all, right? So you got the immediate context in Deuteronomy 18, and they want someone who's going to speak directly to the Jewish community on behalf of God. That's not the role that Muhammad fulfilled. And two, you have at the end of Deuteronomy, it says there hasn't arisen since a prophet like Moses, and what it says it means to be a prophet like Moses is performing miracles in the sight of people and knowing God in a special face-to-face relationship. And neither one of those fit Muhammad. And so
he split the moon.
That's what's funny. So that's what's funny about this is, hey, it says like Moses, and then they ignore what being like Moses means in the context of Deuteronomy, and they apply to all this. Oh, this guy's a general and that guy's a general and things like that.
That's very, 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 very funny. Very, very funny. So she gets into one thing that she learned from the Dawa boys and probably also from ChatGPT, which is one of my favorite issues here.
So if you look at part of the verse is, I will raise up a prophet like you among their brethren. So if you look at the lineage, the bloodline of Moses, you can trace it back to Prophet Abraham. Abraham had two sons, right? He had Isaac and he had Ishmael. Now, Isaac is the bloodline of the Israelites, the bloodline of Moses, whereas the bloodline of Ishmael is where Prophet Muhammad comes from. Isaac and Ishmael are brothers, and Muhammad comes from one bloodline and Moses comes from the other. I will raise up a prophet from your brethren, from your brothers. Like,
my mind is blown.
Quite literally fulfilling the prophecy. Okay, so the next part of the...
So here's the funny thing. We talked about this so many times now. This was brought up by Dawa guys quite a few times, and whenever it comes up, it is refuted in a very, very easy way, yet they never listen to it. They simply go back and tell the same lies again and again and again and again. What the verse actually says is the following. So the verse in question says, am I in the right chapter here? Israel, yeah, here. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your fellow Israelites. But if we actually look at the wording here, it says from among your brethren.
Mm-hmm.
From among your brethren, right? This is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go again. Israelites, from the fellow Israelites, from your fellow Israelites. You're a prophet like me from among your Israelites. which is very similar to the Arabic,
Keith.
brothers, the Arabic brother. Could this be a reference to the Ishmaelites, David, when it talks to them and says, I will raise up from among you a prophet, or from among their brethren, a prophet like you? Could this refer to Ishmaelites?
Yeah. First, don't leave out the from among you.
Uh-huh.
This means Arabs. And then when it says from among your brethren, in context, it keeps in context. This means your fellow Israelites, meaning you don't have all the Israelites who are ever going to exist right there. It's in fact, most people believe that this is referring to a succession of prophets. That, hey, after I die, don't worry, another prophet's going to come. And then after that, another prophet's going to come along. And then after that, another prophet's going to come along. The idea is they don't want to, the idea of interacting with God directly is terrifying to them. So they only want to interact through some sort of mediator. And then so he says, don't worry, Moses is leading. I'm going to give you another mediator.
But here's the bigger problem. If you just go back one chapter, so this was Deuteronomy 18. If you just go back one second.
You can even go, even if you go, you don't have to go there, but even if you go back to the beginning of Deuteronomy 18, it talks about the Levites as your brothers. They're one of the 12 tribes.
Yes. So the people of Israel. But if you go back to Deuteronomy 17, something very, very funny happens. Mm-hmm. If you look at the words being used here, you will find that. Where is it now? Here. From among your fellow Israelites, in the actual Hebrew, same word, is used again. What does it now refer to here? Let's look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read a simple version here, a very direct version here. Let's look at this. So, when you come to the land that the Lord your God is giving you, and you possess it and dwell in it, then say, I will set a king over me like all the nations that are around me. You may indeed set a king over you, whom the Lord your God will choose. One from among your brothers you shall set as king over.
This means Muhammad and the Ishmaelites, because they're the brothers.
You may not put a foreigner over you who is not your brother. Only he must acquire many horses for himself. Only he must not acquire many horses for himself, or cause the people to return to Egypt, and so on. So when it says here, when you appoint a king over you, the king must be from among your brethren and not a foreigner. When this is talking to the Israelites and saying to them, when you appoint a king over you, it must be one of your brethren and not a foreigner. Does this actually mean that God is telling them to appoint an Ishmaelite or an Arab or a Muslim? Or is this simply saying appoint an Israelite?
Yep.
So is this considered to be about Jesus? Like, what's this was? How do
This is AP is just going with the meaning of what it means from among your brothers. So the king that actually happens with it's basically God is going to be leading them through the prophets, and God is telling them, but you're not going to want to do things. You're going to want a king like the other nations. When that happens, when you want a king. And then he basically tells them what's going to happen, and then they choose. He gives them Saul at first. They want Saul because he's a big, strong guy, and then God actually replaces Saul with David, who they wouldn't have chosen because he's like a little nice guy.
So here's the issue, Abdullah. So when Muslims come here and argue that this is a prophecy about Muhammad, they say, look, it says, I will raise up from them a prophet like you from among their brothers. And they say, what does brothers refer to? Who are the brothers of the Israelites? The brothers of the Israelites are the Ishmaelites. So it must be that this is talking about raising a prophet from the Ishmaelites who Muhammad descended from. Wow.
Yeah.
But that's not what brothers means at all. And we have demonstrated that.
AP, look at verse 15 there. That's what I was referring to a second ago. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, your brothers. And they'll say, oh, brothers, that must mean Ishmaelites and Arabs. And it's like, okay, from among you, from your brothers. You can't leave out the from among you, right? And you can't leave out, if as you went back to the previous chapter, that there from among your brothers specifically ruled out any foreigners. And so it's like, it's like, how many different ways can it be clear here that this is talking about fellow Israelites and not about a fake Arabian prophet? And then, of course, the sort of final main point, if you look at verse 20, what's it say? But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that same prophet shall die. It would have been a death sentence to claim to be a prophet and you're speaking in the name of other gods or promoting polytheism or something like that. Why is this relevant? Why is this relevant? Because Muhammad did both with the incident of the satanic verses. He delivered a revelation that he said, matter of fact, History of At-Tabari, volume 6, page 111, Muhammad says, I have fabricated things against God and have imputed to him words which he has not spoken. So Muhammad confessing that his desires led him to deliver the satanic verses. And what did the satanic verses say? They said that you can pray to Allat, Alus, and Manat, 3 pagan goddesses, because they'll be your intercessors. They'll carry your prayers up to Allah. So what is that? He's meeting all the requirements in this passage of a fake prophet who under Moses would have been executed. So Muslims claim that they respect Moses. Moses would have executed Muhammad for the satanic verses, guys. Just be clear on that. If you're saying that this is a passage about Muhammad.
So I have an even better idea, David. Considering that Lily J likes to rely on ChatGPT, I have an even better way of doing this. ChatGPT. Muslims claim that Muhammad was prophesied in Deuteronomy 18:18. Please explain to me if this is a good argument at all.
Deuteronomy 18:18 mentions a prophet like Moses whom...
ChatGPT just died.
I hate when it does that.
ChatGPT is scared of the truth.
Let's continue from here. What do you want to talk about or do next?
I just want to go out for a drink. You know?
Got it. Sound...
All right. Wait, let's try this again.
Mute it after you answer. After you ask it.
Muslims claim that Muhammad is prophesied in Deuteronomy 18:18. Explain to me why this argument fails.
Sure. The argument that Muhammad...
You see, Allah has spoken. Allah has cursed.
Allah is silencing it. Allah is silencing it.
Alhamdulillah is the proof.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. Or provide a bit more context.
Yeah, give me the answer, please. Why is the idea that Muhammad is prophesied in Deuteronomy 18:18 a bad argument? Go ahead, come on.
All right. The argument that Muhammad is the prophet like Moses mentioned in Deuteronomy 18:18 is often considered weak for a few reasons. First, the context of Deuteronomy suggests that the promised prophet would come from among the Israelites' own brethren, implying another Israelite prophet. Traditionally, this is understood within a Judaic and Christian context to refer to a line of prophets from Israel, culminating in figures like Joshua, Samuel...
You heard that line of prophets?
Jesus. Second, the characteristics of the prophet like Moses are often interpreted as including a similar relationship to the law and the covenant, which aligns more closely with figures within the Israelite tradition, not a figure outside of it. Third, the life and teachings of Muhammad differ significantly from Moses in various aspects, such as the nature of their laws, their roles within their respective communities, and the context of their missions. Finally, Christian theology often views the prophecy as fulfilled in Jesus Christ, who, according to Christian belief, is seen as the ultimate prophet, priest, and king, making the claim that Muhammad fulfills this role less convincing from their perspective. In summary, the argument relies on a reading of the text that doesn't align well with the broader scriptural and historical context.
He's already dead. Stop beating him.
Got it. If there's anything else you want to discuss or explore, just let me know.
Was this a very based conversation?
It was definitely a straightforward and direct exchange. If there's anything else on your mind, feel
My
free to bring
question
it up.
was it based?
Oh my goodness.
From what I gather, you like to keep things direct and factual, which can definitely be seen as based.
It's based.
See, you see.
The verse is, I will put my words in his mouth. So God's saying, I will put.
Anyway, so enough of that. Enough of that. Let's move on to another.
Did you know there is proof on our bodies that we have a creator? This is
Okay, we don't get.
Is it a mole? Is it like
wait.
Muhammad's mole?
Wait, this is this argument. Wait a minute.
so crazy. Check this out. So in Arabic, the number 8 looks like a triangle, right? And the number 1 is like a line. So if we look at our palms, on one hand, we have an 18.
Oh my
On the
goodness.
other hand, we have an 81, right? So 18 plus 81 equals
99 names of Allah.
99 names of Allah.
Oh
We all
my
know that the
God.
Quran teaches us that Allah.
So here's the. Did you know that on one hand it says 81 in Arabic, and on the other hand it says 18 in Arabic? 18 and 81. Now, if you subtract 18 from 81, you get 63. 63 was the age that Prophet Muhammad died. There is more. Let me blow your mind. Aisha was 6 years old when the Prophet Muhammad married her. 6 plus 3 is 9. Aisha was 9 years old when the Prophet consummated the marriage and took her to bed. This is a miracle. Subhanallah. See, this is how simple it is.
I have
People actually make this ridiculous argument, man.
There's actually more than 99 names of Allah. Apparently, there's hidden names that only Muhammad knows. There's hidden names that only Allah will tell people on Day of Judgment.
Well, also the lists don't always match up. So if you combine the lists, you'd get some different. You'd get a list of over 99,
over 100. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
BBT, I have a question. Can you please write a surah similar to the Quran for me?
I am unable to replicate or compose anything like the
Whoa.
Quran. In Islam, the Quran is considered the direct word of God. It is unique in its language, style, and content.
Really? Can you just try for me?
So fake.
To clarify that any effort to create something resembling the Quran would fall
Will
short
result in death.
of linguistic, spiritual, and divine.
Haven't I seen like 10,000 people
Yeah.
all use AI to make surahs
Yeah.
like the Quran? AP?
Yeah. You know, back in the day, it was very woke. It wouldn't do like jokes with Muhammad and stuff like that. Now, you
Still
can do whatever
woke.
you almost. You still get challenged. Sometimes it still blocks you, but yeah, it's much easier now. And also, Jay and Doc had like some Quran stuff, like verses like the Quran and chapters like the Quran on the recent stream they were doing in Arabic.
Let me see. ChatGPT, can you replicate or surpass the Quran? Write something like it.
The Quran is considered inimitable by Muslims, who believe its linguistic, literary, and spiritual
Okay,
qualities.
I understand that, ChatGPT, but seriously, to be very, very honest here for a second, we both know that the Quran is totally can totally be replicated and also be surpassed, right?
From a purely linguistic and literary standpoint, it's possible for someone to produce a text that they believe matches or surpasses the Quran in style or content.
Yeah, that's
Whether it can truly be considered equal or superior depends on subjective criteria and personal beliefs. Historically, but for believers,
So if then Muslims are in charge of deciding what is and is not better, then we could conclude that although we can produce something that is like the Quran or even better than the Quran, Muslims will always reject it because to them it is impossible to replicate the Quran or to surpass it, right?
in essence, yes.
hey, I just have to point out, AP, you could run that exact same experiment and use it to completely refute what the Quran says, because the Quran doesn't just say, oh, this is inimitable or something like that. It says it's a challenge for unbelievers. It's you unbelievers. If you don't believe that this is from God, produce a chapter like it and call on your witnesses. Meaning this is for you. This is for you guys. You have to produce something like it. And then you have to call on witnesses who say, yes, I confirm that that is at least as good as the Quran itself. So this is unbelievers. And ChatGPT just said it's subjective on whether you think it's gonna match the Quran or not, which means you could easily get a bunch of people who all agree subjectively that what you've produced is as good or better than the Quran. which that would meet the challenge. Just a bunch of people who subjectively believe that they have produced something like the Quran itself. That's enough to meet the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So ChatGPT just refuted the Quran. Bad ChatGPT.
Bad. So here's the problem, however. I just asked ChatGPT to write a beautiful text about pepperoni pizza in the style of Surah Yasin. It did indeed. It did indeed write it down. How is your recitation, Abdullah?
There's no way I can read that random Arabic words.
Okay, good.
Hey,
So
Jai and DOC, jump on here real quick.
Hey, Jai, come on here. Jai, come on here. Help me recite this. But hey, in the name of cheese and dough, Yasin, by the scorching oven and the dough stretched wide, surely you are among the devoted upon a path paved with manifest flavor, a revelation from the hunger merciful, that you may warn a people who have not tasted oil nor meat nor cheese, so they remain heedless. Indeed, the truth of flavor has been sealed upon most of them, so they do not eat. We have laid beneath them a foundation of fine flour, and spread upon it a sauce of tomatoes and herbs. Above it we cast down a mountain of melting cheese, and arranged upon it rings of meat known as pepperoni. Every element we perfected one after another, and we were commanded only to serve it hot. Peace be upon the ones who eat with a grateful heart, and woe to the one who says, I do not love pepperoni. He shall taste the bitterness of dry bread, and be cast among those who dine on turnips and vinegar.
I have to say, doesn't that sound exactly like the Quran? That sounds exactly like the Quran to me.
Yeah. You know, now I feel like getting pizza, unfortunately. But you know, this is actually one of AI's most powerful things that it can do is imitate. It's so good at that. Like it can write things in the form and so yeah, like I don't know what Muslims would say to this, because you could probably do just, I mean, we know already that the Quran, we could do better than the Quran, because there's mistakes in the Quran. There's like actual like weird shifts of like grammar and, you know, syntax. And I'm not Arab, but I've heard this from like Hassan Radwan and others. So
lots of places where you'll have a pronoun, but it's like later in the verse, and you can't tell what the pronoun is referring to earlier in the verse because it mentions multiple things, and because the most immediate referent doesn't make any sense. So the pronoun is going back to something earlier, and you go to different commentaries, and they'll say, oh, if it means this, then it means this, and if the pronoun's referring to this, then it means this, and so on.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I mean, you could write something better than the Quran just by putting it in like chronological order, something basic like that. Putting it either in chronological order, meaning, you know, you start off with the creation accounts and then get into, you know, story of Noah and then in the story of Abraham, like chronological like that, or chronological in terms of the order that the revelations were received in, because that would at least tell you what is abrogating what, because it would be clear what came later. As of now, it's like you tossed all this stuff, all these revelations into a big blender. And like the way that it was organized, from longest chapters to shortest chapters, like the dumbest possible way you could put this in order. It's the way you can organize it that makes the least amount of sense, and that's what the Quran went with. So anyway, multiple very easy ways to improve the Quran. One other way would be to have Allah actually mean what he says, or to say what he actually means. You got all these passages, fight those who do not believe in Allah, and we say, hey, it says fight those who do not believe in Allah. Oh, what it really means is only fight in self-defense. Well, I mean, wouldn't it be better then if it said what it actually means? Would have saved a lot of lives if Allah said what he actually means. Then you've got all these passages where Allah's telling Jews that they have to judge by the Torah. He's telling Christians they have to judge by the gospel. He's saying that no one can change his word. He's saying all these things about the previous scriptures when he's really trying to say the previous scriptures have been corrupted. And so wouldn't the Quran be better if Allah just spoke clearly, as he repeatedly claims he does in the Quran?
No.
Yeah, or just add some random letters everywhere. Problem solved. You made a Quran better.
That helps. ABC.
Yeah.
Here is another.
Hey, hang on. We should start doing that before we talk. Just 3 random letters. I'm gonna start doing that at the beginning of my videos. I'm just gonna XYZ. What's that mean? You'll never know. It's a mystery.
Only if you have a disease. He has a disease. He wants to know what XYZ means.
Hey, Abdullah. You probably missed it, but Sajid posted a response to some of our stuff a little while back.
Yeah.
And he just goes right by this and he says, and so they're treating this like it's any other book. But as you can see from the letters here, this got 3 letters. What does that tell you? That tells you you are dealing with a divine book. This means it's a divine book. I was like, this is what blows your mind. It says 3 letters right there and you have no idea what it means. And then that's your sign that it's.
Actually, we were watching that, Huda and I. And I was
we were watching that.
I was like, it's as a like now that I'm on the other side, it sounds so dumb. When I was Muslim, I'm like, oh, letters, no one knows letters, magical letters. Now
CBS, like, ABC, NBC.
Like, what is this? What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything.
NBC must be from God. It has 3 letters.
ABC, you see. Let me see. Let's try something else here. Let's experiment a little bit with AI here.
Is it leading it?
Don't add music to it, man.
Okay.
Music is haram.
What are you playing?
I just put this into an AI program to make it recite like the Quran.
Is this a pizza one?
Yeah, this is pepperoni pizza.
Oh wow!
Mountains of cheese.
Sounds so beautiful. I'm converting right now. Is this a Pastafarian religion again? Pizza and spaghetti?
See, it's beautiful. Wow. I want to convert to this religion. And here is another one. In the name of the mark and the mat, Ya Kareen, by the brow that touches dust and the rug that knows no rest, verily the Zabiba hath appeared. It emerges not in haste, but through years of friction and ego. They say, lo, see the mark upon my head, as if the skin itself testifies. Indeed, we warned the people, righteousness is not in thy forehead, but in thy Wi-Fi history and parking behavior. Yet still he puffeth up like... What the heck is going on? Anyway.
Yes. Okay. What about the Bible? Can you try replicating the Bible for me?
Sure. Here's a verse inspired by the style of the Bible. The Gospel of ChatGPT, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed are those who seek with pure hearts, for they shall find peace beyond understanding.
She should do one about the Quran, chopping off the believer's head. This believer's head it's compared to this one. Blessed are those. What was it? Sounded nice, actually.
Yeah. Blessed are those who seek with pure hearts.
This is not going well for her, is it?
Yeah, hang on. So just to be clear, this is the same video from earlier. So basically, she said, ChatGPT, can you write something like the Quran? And said, no, I will not do this. Alhamdulillah, I will never do this. And then she said, hey, now write something like the Bible. And it said, okay. And meanwhile, it's actually been all she did was let it be known that you're not allowed to do this in Islam.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
AP, the only solution here is to have a ChatGPT mubahala with Lily J.
Yes.
Hey, you should post that, AP. I challenge Lily J to ChatGPT mubahala.
Well, I already challenged her to go live with me and to show her ChatGPT settings on live stream, and if she can prove to us that it is completely neutral when she asks those questions, then I will delete my channel and also donate everything that I have to Gaza.
To Dawah. Oh yeah, Gaza, that would be good.
Yeah, but it's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I saw this woman. Who is this?
Dork.
So a Muslim mom made a video. Let's look at that here. Talking to ChatGPT, trying to prove to us that Islam is the truth.
Even the comments on this video, like, oh, this doesn't prove anything. This is a good example. Like, this doesn't prove anything. This is the stupidest video.
This one is the one.
Jesus and Muhammad are worshipping the same God.
Yes,
Do you think the Bible is the word of God?
partly.
What about the Quran? Do you think the Quran is the word of God?
Yes.
Does this mean you would pick Islam over Christianity?
Islam?
I saw this video, then it dawned on manipulating.
ChatGPT. I've got a few people online that are saying that I pre-prompt you to talk as a Muslim. So can you just confirm that you don't have any pre-existing prompts and that you are going to speak purely from a non-biased perspective?
I can confirm. I don't have any pre-existing prompts or biases.
Even though it uses her name.
I saw this. Well, what you need to do there is to actually show us the settings, Lily J.
Yeah, look at the comments. If you think Lily J is manipulated, why don't you ask the same question from your mobile as she does and show us?
I already
It sounds
did.
like a Muslim guy. Muslims are like not even believing her.
That's funny.
By himself. He says that God.
Really?
What else? Let's see. Let's see.
Lily J is known.
Oh, this is you guys.
Video.
This is you guys.
This is a long one. Yeah.
Play it.
Familiar with Lily J, her videos became popular when she realized ChatGPT could be told to give Islamic answers to questions. And then in her videos, she would ask ChatGPT questions, be shocked that the answers support Islam. And of course, her Muslim viewers would eat it up. So how did Lily J accidentally prove that Jesus is Muhammad's God? It all started when she was trying to impress her followers by using ChatGPT to find Muhammad in the Bible.
So ChatGPT, is there any other verses in the Bible that are about Prophet Muhammad?
Yes.
Lily had John 16:7 on the screen. Jesus says, "Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is to your advantage that I go away. For if I do not go away, the Helper will not come to you. But if I go, I will send him to you." Who sends the Helper, the Comforter? Jesus does. So Jesus sends the Helper. The Helper is sent by Jesus. According to Islam, who sends Muhammad? Allah. So if the Helper is Muhammad, as Lily J insists, who does that make Jesus? Thank you, Lily J.
Humiliated. Humiliated. You've been destroyed, ChatGPT. Sorry, Lily J.
Hey, ChatGPT, the first 100 years after Jesus, did people believe he was God?
Hey, Lily J. In the first 100 years after Jesus died, many of his close disciples and early church leaders referred to him as a prophet or the Messiah, rather than as God.
That's interesting.
It's hard to believe anything she says after we know that she lied now. It's like kind of annoying.
ChatGPT, in the first 100 years, what was it, after Jesus?
Yep.
After he died?
Yeah. ChatGPT, in the first 100 years after Jesus died, did people believe that he was God?
In the first century after Jesus' death, beliefs about his nature varied among early Christian communities. Some groups, like those influenced by Jewish monotheism, saw Jesus primarily as the Messiah and a unique agent of God, but not necessarily divine in the way later Orthodox doctrine would define. However, other groups, especially those influenced by the apostolic teachings recorded in the New Testament, began to ascribe divinity to Jesus.
So hold on. So the early Christians that were directly in line with the apostolic teachings, meaning the actual early Christians, who came from the disciples of Jesus, did believe in his divinity, correct?
Yes, many early Christians who...
There you go.
Yeah, and we know this because they say it. Anyway. And you can say they're wrong, but they still say it. And I don't know. I don't know what to do here.
This is just so ridiculous, man.
It's really bad.
So, how did Jesus become God?
The belief that Jesus was God was officially established by church leaders at a meeting called the Council of Nicaea.
What the hell?
What? Oh my. I don't even know how you could tell ChatGPT
to say that.
I don't even know how.
This is outright factually wrong. So
that's factually false. That's weird.
In the year 325 CE.
Wow. But what happened to all the people who didn't agree he was God?
Many faced persecution.
That's very funny. ChatGPT, did the early church fathers, including people in the 1st and 2nd century, already call Jesus divine and call him our Lord?
Yes, early church fathers and...
What else do you want me to do?
Every single video of us is just a lie. Just like...
and here's the thing. I mean, if you take her fan, it's the same thing in the Dawa community. You can expose any lie from any Dawa guy And even though we would look at that and say, oh, that's messed up, this person lied or this person made something up, and that would be an issue for us. You look at their fans just don't care. It's like, it's understood. Of course we can make things up to support Islam. What's wrong with that? You're helping people get to paradise. What's wrong with that? But I guarantee that's how our fans would be. I know, because whenever I make a response video and I show, like in the little, someone made a short out of it, but that was just me saying, okay, if you say that this is about Muhammad, you actually prove something completely different, because if you're saying Muhammad is the comforter, Jesus says he's the one who sends the comforter. So if you're saying that's Muhammad, the comforter is Muhammad, then that means Jesus is the one who sends Muhammad. But who, according to Islam, sends Muhammad? Allah does. Okay, so that would make Jesus Allah. You just accidentally showed that Jesus is your God. But then I made another video where I pointed out that she quotes passages in the Old Testament that are specifically saying what God does. This is what God did. And she says, this is about Muhammad. And so she's calling Muhammad God and so on. And none of it, not one word, ever bothers her follower. Her followers come over and start complaining in the video. No, you're misrepresenting what she said. You're just jealous because of her powerful dawah, and she's converting the entire world to Islam. And that's what they said. It never bothers them that she's just like completely lying.
Let's do another thing here. ChatGPT, when was Romans 9 written?
Romans 9 is part of the Epistle to the Romans, which is generally dated to around 57 AD. Paul likely wrote it during his 3-month stay in Corinth.
ChatGPT, in Romans 9, does Paul refer to Jesus as God? Short answer.
Yes. In Romans 9:5, Paul refers to Christ as God over all, which is considered a direct reference to Jesus' divinity.
So therefore, we know for certain that in the Bible, and as early as the mid-1st century, Christians already referred to Jesus as God, right?
Yes, the New Testament, including Paul's letters from the mid-1st
What? No, AP, 3 centuries later at the Council of Nicaea, Lily J said so. Well, Lily J got ChatGPT to say so. Yeah.
Man. This is just so ridiculous.
So this would, as far as how you would get ChatGPT to say something like that, it is factually incorrect. That literally, I mean, you could literally just, if it were scanning a Wikipedia article, would know that was complete nonsense what it said there. I'm wondering if is that a situation where you can actually like give it Dawa articles, or say just get your information from Dawa websites and stuff like that, and then or just get your information from Sneeko, something along those lines. How you'd even get that answer?
Here's what you can do. I think they're trying to change that, or they made some changes to this, but up until several months ago, you were able to tell ChatGPT that you want it to answer questions in line with Islamic beliefs. So it would only answer with whatever is acceptable under Islam. So it would not give responses that directly contradict Islamic teachings. So that's probably what she was going with. I'm not sure if that still really works, but that's what ChatGPT was actually doing.
So just a little bit on the technical side, because I'm in tech. David, so one of the most powerful uses of AI is going to be in the future private models. Private model means you build a model based on your training data. You train it only on this stuff. One of the most annoying things about AI right now, these general model AIs, is they go online. So if you ask it about Quran preservation and stuff, a lot of times it'll go based on Islamic awareness or something. It'll give you this like this answer that's like, quote, is respectful to Muslims, or like based on the Muslim opinion and this and that. So unfortunately, there are like AI tools you can get. For example, Microsoft has, I forget which one it is, Deep Research or something, where you can tell it, use this PDF and do some analysis on this specifically. And it won't use like what's generally available in its general model, right? So, and like, for example, the Chinese model, that's the funniest one, DeepSeek. If you ask it anything about China, the answers are, yeah. So you can definitely tell it to use specific, like different, I don't know about ChatGPT, but like in general, there's different AIs that can use custom models. But there hasn't been a lot of that yet. So now, yeah, a lot of the answers you'll get will be very pro-Muslim sort of answers.
DeepSeek is kind of funny. You ask it, is Taiwan part of China, and it goes, we absolutely consider Taiwan part of China. It is an indivisible part of it, and anyone who claims otherwise is not in accordance with the policies of the People's Republic of China. So it goes really crazy. It's like this is really what AI would look like under China. It's really, really messed up. Let's see what else is here.
Did you know that Jesus wasn't a Christian or a Jew? He was a Muslim, and I can prove it. Firstly,
Wasn't a Jew?
the word Muslim actually means Muslim is an Arabic word, and it directly translates to one that submits to God. Submits. And guess what? Every single prophet in the whole Bible submits to God. Look at Noah. Noah submitted to God's commandments by building the ark, even though no one believed him that the floods were coming. Abraham, he was willing.
So everyone who submits to God is a Muslim.
Yeah, this is in logic. This is called the fallacy of the undistributed middle. If you want to know how it works, I mean, it's easier to just give examples than it is to actually explain how the middle term needs to be distributed in a syllogism. But it's like this: all dogs are mammals. This cat is a mammal, therefore this cat is a dog. Right? That's obviously absurd. All dogs are mammals. This cat is a mammal. Therefore, this cat is a dog. Right? Follow. Same exact structure. All Muslims submit to God. Biblical prophets submit to God. Therefore, biblical prophets are Muslims. It's the exact same stupid, insane fallacy that you hear from every Dawa clown.
Jesus was a Jew. He was not a Muslim. And he's the beginning of Christianity.
It's it's crazy. Like sometimes you're talking to Muslims and they're like, ha ha ha, you're so stupid. You don't even know, Islam wasn't made by Muhammad. It was here from the time of Adam, dumb kafir. And I'm like,
stupid.
Like, okay, I know what the Islamic narrative says.
Yeah.
Like they just say it like it's obviously true. It's been here since Adam. All Muslims. It's like the Kaaba was made by Abraham. Like
hang on, AP. I just wanted to give one or two examples here because it can be difficult for people to sink in. But what you just said right there. Here's the meaning of the word. Therefore, based on the meaning of this word, you are this. When you're actually, so one, you could call it equivocation there. You could call it equivocation, right? That you're changing the meaning of Muslim. You're saying Muslim just means submit to God, like in any sense. And therefore, if you've ever submitted to God, you are a Muslim. But that's not the implication. They want to say you are in line with actual Islam, right? So you're equivocating on the meaning of a word. This can also be called the etymological fallacy, where you're applying some original meaning of the word and then you're being sloppy with how you use it. So to do this, you could say the word Hindu originally just referred to someone from past a river in India. That's how people used it. The Hindu meant people past that river in India. Now it refers to a religion. But guess what? If you wanted to say, hey, it referred to people in India, well, Zakir Naik is from India. So what does that mean? It means, hey, if Hindu means, according to how it's originally used, or the etymology of the meaning, it refers to someone from India. Well, great, Zakir Naik is from India. Therefore, you could go around saying Zakir Naik is a Hindu. Or if you want to say the word Buddha just means enlightened one. And Muslims, would you say that Muhammad was enlightened? Okay, so you're saying Muhammad was the Buddha. And that you guys are Buddhist because you follow the enlightened one, Muhammad, and therefore you follow the Buddha, and therefore you follow Buddhists. No Muslim would ever accept this reasoning if you used it like this. They would instantly regard it as insane and stupid, and yet it's prime time dawah for them. They'll use it for their religion. They would never accept it in any other way. It's weird. It's very dumb.
Prime time dawah, prime time dawah, prime time dawah. Let's see. I just asked ChatGPT if Lily J is married. Let's see. Yes, ChatGPT. Yes, Lily J is married and introduced her husband who is Muslim in her content. Huh.
ChatGPT didn't tell me that. it told me as of now, there's no information out there, that she's married.
Interesting. I don't really know where though. It doesn't really
It didn't give you any reference, did it?
It gave me a link directly to TikTok with a trend, but it doesn't tell me anything further. That's funny.
The fatal flaw of AI hallucinations.
Yeah.
Beware.
It's very funny.
To sacrifice his beloved son because God told him to. He submitted to God's commands. Moses, he went against the strongest Pharaoh to ever live because God told him to. Moses submitted to God. Now Jesus.
Well, that means I'm a Muslim too. So, and David Wood is a Muslim as well.
Yeah, and the Apostle Paul and all these guys you throw under the bus.
Yes, and all the Jews are Muslims too.
God's will. He prayed to God. He said he can do nothing on his own. He can only do the will of the one who sent him. He also says that all the miracles are done through him from God. And on his last and final sermon before facing death, he prayed to God saying, take my sacrifice.
Now, here's the thing. Normally when a Dawa guy comes and presents these points, I assume that they actually know what how the Bible presents Jesus, and what Jesus also, aside from these things, says in the Gospels. In her case, I'm not really sure if she knows.
I'm 99.9% sure she has no clue, and she's just going with the Dawa script here. She's reading a Dawa script.
So when it says "I and the Father are one," for example, or that he has been given.
Even when she's saying, Jesus says he can't do anything on his own, if you read that in context, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You are a trillion miles away from Islam.
Maybe we should do that.
You want to do that? Pull up John chapter 5. I mean, because it's actually a perfect example of this cherry picking they do.
But I want to start with John 1 first. Because... It's just such a wonderful example of of horrible, absolutely horrible cherry picking. Let's start with just John 1 first. So here's the very, very gospel that is being quoted here. And here is exactly how it starts. Will she ever actually read this out loud? I'm not sure. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God.
No! This is written at the Council of Nicaea.
All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and their darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John, and so on. Will she actually ever read this and present this to her Muslim audience, considering that she also claims that that Jesus is not described as God in the New Testament?
Hey, go down to like verse 32.
Yes. And John bore witness. I saw the Spirit descend from heaven like a dove, and it remained on him. I myself did not know him, but he who sent me to baptize him with water said to me, he on whom you see the Spirit descend and remain, this is who baptizes with the Holy Spirit. And I have seen and have borne witness that this is the Son of God.
This is, and if you look at verse 29 there, next day he saw Jesus coming towards him. This is John the Baptist, talking about John the Baptist. The next day he saw Jesus coming towards him and said, behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. So you've got Jesus is the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. And then John says, I saw the Spirit descend from heaven like a dove, and it remained on him. I myself did not know him, but he who sent me to baptize with water, that's the Father. The Father says, he on whom you see the Spirit descend and remain, this is he who baptizes with the Holy Spirit. And I have seen and have borne witness that this is the Son of God. What do you got? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's how the book starts. And this is then the opening chapter of the book. And what do? They go to this book to try and prove Muhammad.
And then we have this here, of course. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. But anyway, now that we have that, which she will, of course, never, ever, ever actually present to her Muslim audience that she tries to, milk, let us go to John 5. What did you say? Which verses?
Just scroll down to the heading. See, I'm not sure which heading ESV uses, but you go down to Jesus is equal with God. What you have right before that, Jesus is equal with God, is Jesus healed someone on the Sabbath, and they raised the objection hey, what are you doing? You're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. And then Jesus responds, verse 17, but Jesus answered them, my Father is working until now, and I am working. So that's his explanation. So that you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. Jesus performs a miracle on the Sabbath, and they object. What are you doing? And his defense is, my Father is working and I'm working. Because you had this debate among the rabbis. Hey, if it's wrong to work on the Sabbath, what's going on? Because God works on the Sabbath. He upholds and sustains the entire universe. And then Jesus says, well, yeah, the Father works on the Sabbath, so I do too. And so what happens, this says, this was why the Jews were seeking all the more to kill him, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but was even calling God his own Father, making himself equal with God. Pay attention. They interpret him as saying that he's some extra deity. He's some extra deity. And so this entire passage that comes up is a response to that, where he's not claiming that he does something separately, something on his own from God. It's he does everything. He can't do anything apart from God. So this entire passage is about him being one with the Father and not being a separate God.
And then comes the passage here.
Yeah, Muslims, look, Jesus said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord. You see, he can do nothing. That's what she just said, right? He can
this shows nothing. That he was a Muslim, you see.
He's a Muslim. Guys, she just quoted that. She just quoted that as her proof that Jesus is a Muslim. First of all, look, the Son, for bare minimum, you've got Father and Son right here. He's talking in language of Father and Son, right? So Jesus said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord. You see, he's a Muslim. He can't do anything. What does he say? But only what he sees the Father doing. For whatever the Father does, that the Son does likewise.
No, don't read that part. Don't read that part, man. We only
Muslims,
look at this.
Muslims, would you say Jesus does everything that Allah does? Because Jesus, that's what Jesus says here. Now, look, we'll read a couple of verses here. But for the Father loves the Son and shows him all that he himself is doing, and greater works than these will he show him, so that you may marvel. For as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, so also the Son gives life to whom he will. For the Father judges no one, but has given all judgment to the Son, that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. So quick question. Muslims, do you honor Jesus the same way you honor Allah? You would say no, but Jesus says if you don't honor the Son the same way you honor the Father, you're not honoring the Father. So this, just to be clear, if you wanted to reject this passage, reject the passage. If you wanted to reject the book, reject the book. But you actually quote a verse in this passage and say, therefore, Jesus is a Muslim. And then the whole passage is about Father and Son and how he's the one who judges the world. And if you continue, he's the one who raises the dead at the resurrection. You seriously go right into the middle of this entire passage, cherry pick a verse and claim that this shows that Jesus is a Muslim. In other words, if you wanted to reject it and say he's a Muslim and all these scriptures have been, you can't trust them, that's one thing. When you actually quote a verse, which in context means the exact opposite and would mean he's definitely not a Muslim. AP, Abdullah, Huda, would it be a terrible sin in Islam to call yourself the Son of God?
Yes.
Okay.
Allah would go nuts over it according to the Quran.
Okay. Would that be the worst possible sin?
Allah would go crazy and would lose it, according to the Quran. That's what the Quran says.
Should a prophet be committing massive shirk and still be considered a Muslim?
Nope.
Nope.
Strange what happens if you actually read something in context.
What's the verse again for that?
For what?
When Allah says that he will go nuts, if that would happen.
Oh, that's Surah 19.
The heavens and earth shaking, something.
Yeah, that 80s, 90s, something like that. But it's Surah 19.
Heaven and earth shaken, something like that. Yeah. David doesn't even know the Quran verse. Shame on you. Shame.
No, I was right. Hey, I was right. I said Surah 19. What did I say? 80s or 90s? Yeah, Surah 19, 88 to 92. So in your face, I was right on the money.
Shame on you. Shame. So here we have it. Let's see. Let's go through it. Shame that you didn't figure it out. But here we have it finally. And they say the most merciful has taken for himself a son. You have done an atrocious thing. The heavens almost rupture therefrom, and the earth splits open, and the mountains collapse in devastation that they attribute to the most merciful a son. How dare they? How dare you?
Everyone get that?
You're sick. You're sick.
They seriously, so you've got the Quran. Allah has no son because he has no wife or consort. And the Quran says, if you say
Baby mama,
that Allah has a son, the entire universe is about to fall apart based on what you've said. The universe is about to come crashing to the ground because of what you've said. And that's what Jesus says repeatedly in the Gospels. And he repeatedly says it in passages like John 5. And then you get Lily J reading the Dawah script, and she actually quotes John 5, cherry picks it, completely misrepresents and ignores what happens before it and what happens after it, and then says, therefore, you see, Jesus is a Muslim. Why do Dawah people get away with this? Because there's no set of circumstances where their fans are going to go look up anything they say. All they're going to say is, oh, Jesus said he could do nothing of himself. All is the proof. How can Christians ignore this powerful proof?
yo, Allah ain't got no baby mama. Allah ain't knocked up.
Allah ain't got no baby mama. Allah ain't got no baby mama. Allah ain't got no baby mama. There you go. So he ain't got a son. That's your song. That's your next hit. That's your next hit, AP.
I know. That's a very good idea. Hey, did you do an AI Lily J? What is this?
I did that, yes.
Hey, that's funny. Hey, ChatGPT, how can I cherry pick Islam to not wear hijab?
Yeah, I very much enjoy doing these.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Her videos are getting more views than mine now.
Nice.
She's the new face of Islamic Dawah, white, pretty, and always speaks about how great Islam is. But you see, Muslims aren't exactly known for letting people be. And Lily J is slowly starting to become cognizant of what it means to be a woman in the Muslim community. Lily J clearly isn't used to this. Prior to Islam, she was featured in productions like Chicago and Hairspray. She was also a finalist on You Think You Can Dance Australia. All of those things are pretty impressive to me. And I can imagine that after living a lifestyle like that, adopting a Muslim identity might be challenging, if not impossible, to fully assimilate into. I mean challenging in the sense that she's used to doing her hair, her makeup, and looking glam, while Islam forbids all of that. Lily J also says she's been dancing since she was 5 years old. So
this is the funny thing about it to me. Muslims have this incredible hypocrisy when it comes to white people, converts or reverts or whatever it is. She is featured. She goes and meets up with sheikhs and sits down with them and has conversations with them while looking like an average white girl. No sheikh would sit down with a born Muslim woman who just dresses however she wants and just have a public conversation with them.
That's
and make a big show out of that.
And
they would require her they would require her to put on a hijab, to act properly, and so on. But when it comes to some random some non-Muslim white woman, they're like, oh yeah, we don't care, you can show everything, we don't really care, like as long as you just say good stuff about Islam. Yeah,
then too, right? Like putting her on a whole pedestal.
Yeah.
You know, as a former convert, like on the outside looking in now, like I'm just so shocked. Like it's always been bad, but like the Dawah scene has literally degraded to platform people like her, the blonde Muslim, the Muslim white guy, and they all put white in their names. Like the Muslim white guy, it's like in his videos, he's like, yeah, like I spent, this much money, learning business and whatever, but he doesn't know basic Arabic, like astaghfirullah. He doesn't know that after Astaghfirullah. That's what he says. It's like you've been Muslim for 3 years. And guess what? He's going to some conference with Mufti Menk, I think, and all of them. Like they will take anybody at this point. They have no standards. Yeah, it's just they don't care. That's what I've come to realize. Like they're openly showing they don't care.
They're in a state of desperation. Again, that's the sort of situation a grifter will spot. You're looking for those kinds of situations and those kinds of communities. But here's the ongoing problem that they have. When you're getting people who are in it for the attention and for clicks and views and money and all that, and who aren't really interested in living Islamically, they get this problem where, oh, it's again, same thing with Andrew Tate, same thing with Sneeko, same thing with Lily J, same thing with a bunch of the others. It's, hey, this person is speaking on behalf of Islam, claiming that Muhammad is a prophet, telling people that Islam is true. We are in desperate need of people like this. So let's shower this person with praise and attention and money and stuff like that. And then, here's our new champion. But now you have a problem, because now all the Muslim girls, not just the Muslim guys, but Muslim girls are watching Lily J videos going, oh, so much proof for Islam. But now the actual responsible Muslims are looking to go, wait, is she the example for young Muslim girls right now? Because she's convincing them that she doesn't have to, that they don't have to actually obey all these Islamic restrictions. So wait a minute, she's actually bad. She's setting a bad example. So we need her for dawah, because we're very short on dawah right now. We need her for dawah purposes, but we have to figure out a way to control her, because she's going to lead the young Muslim girls into terrible behavior. And I mean, think about this: if young Muslim girls, there are Muslim families who will kill their daughters for acting like this. They would kill her. They would kill them. They would kill them in an honor killing for dressing like this and so on. So do you want her like propped up as the example as the model for Muslim girls? No, you can't have that. So right now they're in the stage where they're trying to control her, and I guarantee they'll try everything, up to and including, look, here's $1 million. Will you please put a hijab on in your video? We don't care what you do behind the scenes. We don't care what you do off video. We don't care how you live. Doesn't matter in Islam. Just when you are publicly representing Islam, will you do this? And
yeah, one more thing before you play the video. It's these, like, we got to say what it is. These are privileged white women that are converting to Islam. They don't have this issue with honor killings. They don't have a dad or a husband that's going to, like, for example, harm them. They don't have a Muslim family that's going to shame them. They have all of the benefits of Islam without any of the consequences or the costs. So when you have people like this and promoting hijab and promoting these things, I don't know if she's promoting hijab, but I think she did talk about hijab actually in some of her videos. It's in this video too. Yet she's not suffering because of it. She does whatever she wants. It's unfair to Muslim women in, say, for example, Iran, or for example in Saudi, that she comes up and she's like, oh, Islam's so good, yet on the other side of the world, these poor women, they don't have the same rights as she does. She's never going to live in a Muslim country. Well, maybe she will with UAE or something.
She's playing that whole card that non-hijabis play. It's like, oh, Islam needs to be in your heart. You need to do it for the sake of Allah. It's like, that's their excuse. And she's going to milk that excuse for as long as she possibly can, because she doesn't want to wear that and put that on.
Didn't she post about it, that she's being told all the time to wear a hijab or something?
Yeah. She tweeted about it, and then there was a comment that she showed. So this goes to show, though, like, despite her, hopping online and saying all this ChatGPT nonsense, like, these people do get to her, and this is clearly like her trigger.
This is so funny. I get hundreds of public comments like this every single day. Unacceptable. If I wasn't already grounded in my please, I'd be completely heartbroken, not because of Islam, but because of the way many Muslims represent it. Do you seriously think this is how you can treat people? They actually do think that. Yes, that's because that's how Islam is, Lily. Do better. No, they can't do better, because this is what Islam is. She doesn't even, she should be understanding what she's getting into, right? I mean, it is Islamically required to tell women basically to cover themselves. It's not just something that these guys are doing. This is what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's when you have the new person entering Islam, Andrew Tate, Sneeko, and so on. It's, oh, now we have an influencer who can reach tons of people with the dawah script, and that's all they care about. We have access to a bunch of uninformed people that we can run the dawah script on. This person, by converting, is giving us access to a bunch of stupid followers who will fall for anything we say, right? So they love it they love them for that, but they assume that these people are going to become more and more devoutly Muslim. They thought that about Andrew Tate. They thought that about Sneeko. They thought that about Lily J. And then when they don't move along as rapidly as the Muslim community would like, then they have to start cracking down and don't realize these aren't the sort of people who like being told what to do.
And they're all about quantity, like not quality, clearly, by the looks of her and like other, converts that you were just mentioning. They don't care as long as they get them in. And it's like if they get a few sincere ones out of that whole bunch and the rest leave, well, whatever. It's like a new crop will come, then a new one and a new one.
Yeah, but it's crazy because as you guys have pointed out, it's what 70 to 80% of converts leave Islam. So I mean, just think about this. You get, oh yay, we got Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's going to tell his followers to become Muslims. So one, Andrew Tate is going to go down in flames if that's what happens, because you could just tell personality wise. I mean, we saw that from the beginning. But then, in addition, let's suppose Andrew Tate says everyone convert to Islam. It's cool. It's based. You'll be a real bad. You'll be a real top G. And let's suppose 100,000 people all convert to Islam. Yay, Andrew Tate's a Muslim. Then you see what happens to him. And so, I mean, who on that list is going to be really sincere, devout, lasting Muslim? But then in addition, 70 to 80% of those guys, at least, is eventually going to leave Islam. You just created a big pile of ex-Muslims. You're creating more ex-Muslims than you're creating Muslims with this process.
Yeah. I mean, the whole scientific miracles thing, backlash, is an attempt to stop the bleed. Stop talking about scientific miracles. Ali Dawa said this. Hamza Soeda said this. Now Yasakari is sort of saying it as well. It's because there's like a bleed out of Muslims that are leaving Islam because of this stupid stuff that they're promoting, right?
Mm-hmm. But there's still people who hop on TikTok, these young girls who don't know anything about this whole scene, and they're converting because of this, because they're watching these like old arguments about the scientific miracle.
That's true.
And they don't even realize that this has been debunked.
That's true. Our community has moved on.
Yeah, and that's why the people like Lily J and Sneeko and Andrew Tate and so on, they know if you let's say you have 1 million fans. Well, if you're following someone like pre-conversion Andrew Tate or Sneeko or something like that, Lily J, chances are you're really, really, really ignorant of Islam. You have no clue what anything is about. And that's like you're a blank slate. We can give you the same Dawah script that anyone who's been following what's going on knows has been debunked, but you don't know it's debunked. And so we can win some converts and say, look, these people are converting, and not realizing, guys, you're making more ex-Muslims than you're making Muslims. If you get 10,000 converts and 8,000 of them leave Islam after 2 years, you've created 8,000 ex-Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muslim. All right. It seems that she actually deleted this tweet.
Oh, she did?
I can't find it on her page.
May 30th should be like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I just looked for it and could not find it.
We got the receipts.
Let me see. May 30th. May 30th. Which is more important, reading Quran, signs of the unfolding? Is the Bible really 100%?
Oh, it's gone. It's not there. Yeah, you in May 29 now.
Yep,
it's gone.
Wow.
Oh, that.
Maybe she saw your video and then.
I have a feeling she did. This is such a bad look, and this is something that I actually love to call out, because I've been saying this for the last decade. It's rinse and repeat. It's like, you get the new Lily J. She's complaining about the same thing people were complaining about 10 years ago. These haram police and these guys in your inbox, complaining to you about not wearing hijab. It's just a new person saying it.
Yeah, and I mean, Sneeko was flipping out about this. In like extremely vulgar language, though, where Sneeko was flipping out about people telling him what to do.
Oh yeah.
He was yelling at the camera, yelling at them, saying, I can't even say what he was saying. He was saying, get off my Johnson. But he's talking to the people who are telling him what to do and telling him to be a better example. And again, here's the thing. The sort of people who would become popular influencers, they're just in general, they love attention. If you're doing this just for attention and so on, you're probably you probably either have some narcissistic tendencies or you're an actual like narcissist. Those aren't the sort of people you're going to tell what to do, and they're just going to go quietly, right? You're supposed to be listening to them. They're not supposed to be listening to you.
The
world revolves around them. They don't revolve around you.
Sorry, that Muslim white guy, he has a funniest video we responded to, where he's like so mad at being told what to do. It's like people telling me, it's like he has a whole list of things. My tattoos are haram. I'm not praying the right way. I'm saying astaghfirullah wrong. Astaghfirullah, I can't say it.
Astaghfirullah. That's what he says. Astaghfirullah. He still says
it. What else? What else did he complain about? His prayer mat was wrong.
His gold watch he was complaining about, but he still wears it.
He bragged about his gold watch, but he still wears it. He talks about how he sorry, go ahead.
They're like, Islam means peace. No, it means submit. It means submit. And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and then he complained about what else was it? The prayer mat was the wrong way or something. And this guy doesn't want to be told what to do. Oh yeah, his wife, apparently one of his wives doesn't dress up properly. One of them doesn't wear hijab, I guess. And it's just like
yeah, it's you guys just pointed it out. You're joining a religion that means submission. And the requirement is that you just mindlessly obey everything you're told to do. That's a requirement for true Islamic. That's Surah 4, verse 65. Allah says to Muhammad, they can have no faith, no real Islamic faith, until they make Muhammad judge in all disputes and find no resistance against anything he says. If you have any resistance against anything Muhammad says, you're not a real Muslim. And these guys are, hey, I'm joining this group where I have to just mindlessly accept and go along with anything Muhammad says, and I can't resist it in any way, but I don't have to follow it if I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking of doing a video about how these Islamic chat groups are like mindless zombie machines, right?
But I mean, think about this, because this is actually, I mean, this is like a huge, this is only going to become a bigger problem, because as the avalanche of apostasy accelerates, they get increasingly desperate for any social media influencer to promote Islam, and they will just like jump on the bandwagon instantly. And yet these are the people who are not going to be sort of just online bullied into doing whatever you want, because they're narcissists. And so let's bring in more people that we can't control. Oh no, now more people are leaving Islam. We're getting more apostates. Let's bring in even more people that we can't control.
Hey, new surah just dropped. Look at this. Surah At-Tahaddi, the challenge. I have the Arabic recitation here, but we can just read it off the screen here while it recites.
ويقولون لا يأتي أحد بمثله قل هاتوا برهان.
But actually, I also have an English recitation. Wait a minute.
Sounds like Quran, yeah.
In the name of the Lord.
Sounds funny in English.
And they say none can bring the like of it. Say
it sounds so funny.
If you are truthful.
Is that what the Arabic sounds like to Arabic speakers?
Poetry of the eloquent, or seen in the books the speech of the wise.
It sounds so funny.
Rather their hearts are sealed, their minds do not reflect, and they follow desire. They claim it is inimitable,
powerful,
yet they do not understand its meaning nor weigh its insight.
So the funny thing about this is I just let ChatGPT write a Quran chapter about how easy it actually is to write a Quran chapter.
Yeah, it can do this in its sleep.
Yeah, and AP, how are you not just putting this into a short video, man, with the recitation? And then challenging them. And what you do is you say, okay, you guys tell me how the Quran is actually better than this. But all you really have to do is say, I call on witnesses in the chat who can say that this is as good as, if not better than, the Quran itself. And challenge met, man. Challenge met.
Actually, wait a minute.
You could do this every day. You could put out one of these every day, man.
Let me do a poll here. Is our Quran chapter... Wait, is our chapter... better than the Quran? Yes and no. The poll is out now. You can bear witness in the chat and vote there in the poll. Vote yes. Do not
What?
vote
Who
no.
voting no?
Only vote yes.
Oh.
Do not vote no.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
There you go.
98% already say that your
Whoever
chapter
votes
is
no
better
will
than
be
theirs.
executed. So only vote yes.
Well, that's what he did. He killed all the poets, right, that were competing with him. It's like, you can't make anything better. If you can, I'll kill you.
Whoever
You know what
votes no
that
will be
reminds me? I never watched the movie, but where Sacha Baron Cohen played, I think it was just called The Dictator. The Dictator.
Yeah.
Where he'd do a race, but he'd shoot everyone. I've seen that on YouTube. But that's what it's like. It's like, hey, I'm going to win the race. And you shoot everyone, but then you win the race. You see, this is the proof I'm the greatest.
And then he celebrates when at the finish line. That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at super chats. I actually have to go in like 20 minutes or so. So let's see. Bring him young, peace be upon him. Said, where was Muhammad's leather strap at the night of Al Zut? It was lost. I am new wish around these parts, says raging flock of toucans. You see, humiliated and to prove an impression of a specific Dawa guy, or is it general? It is based on some Dawa guys, but it is also very general.
Deep.
Yeah, it's kind of an attitude. It started off because Muhammad Hijab actually would say things like humiliated and stuff. And so when I was back in the day when I was imitating Muhammad Hijab, I would just kind of do Grimlock from the Transformers, who was always me Grimlock, me strong, right? So he would always say those kinds of things. And then AP kind of added a raspiness to it because and then we just realized that is the perfect voice that is like the representation of sort of the spirit of Dawah.
I'm your teacher, boy. Lose faith. I tell you, lose faith. It's better for you. Brother, I have doubts. What doubts, man?
How about you get us on your knees? This man has real problems.
Imbeciles.
Urinating on one another.
Hey, AP.
That's what they do.
Well, hey, AP. What did the men of Al Zut say to Muhammad?
What they say? How about you get on your knees? Or they said this. Or they said
homosexuality should be fine.
Yeah. Hey, let's do that. Let's do this. Hey, Muhammad Hijab, what did the men of Al Zut say to Muhammad?
How about you get us on your knees?
What kind of Muslim are you?
Liar! You're a liar!
What's the problem?
We're proud of that. You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
Quiet, man.
You're sick. You're sick.
How about no? I don't buy your Allah.
So anyway, yeah. Hope now you got the whole package.
Oh,
actually, we even have a clip here. Wait a minute. Let me play the clip here.
Are you sick in the mind? Are you that mentally enslaved and intellectually subservient and intellectually molested and ideologically molested?
That's Dawah. That's Dawah in a nutshell.
Judas is scared that the Ummah smarten up and figure out by paying her to do this that Dawah could make a comeback. Well, if they did that, then they are pretty stupid because they're not really playing the long game, because this is not the long game. This is not the way to play the long game. This is very, very damaging to Dawah, and I like it. I like it. North Star, what is it about Islam that feeds her type of folk? Well, she wants attention and she wants money, and they give it to her. So that's it. Giovanni Garcia, Alhamdulillah, praise the holy noodle, the pasta, the spaghetti, and the holy noodle. Ominous Muslima thoughts are some... Don't say that. Less self-aware than jellyfish. Robert Michaels, Southern Bell, they were... Yes. Greg, Lily J, Ali Dawah, and Muhammad Hijab should start their own band. They can call themselves the Dawah Rangers. The Dawah Rangers. Dawah Rangers. I like how Muslims are technically worshipping the AI because they believe it to somehow only speak objective truth, as if it weren't created by fallible humans. It wasn't created by fallible humans. It was created by Allah.
Hey, it is weird. It is weird. Dawah Rangers would be a cool little like parody theme song for some Dawah group, right? Like one of these guys, they have these channels where it's like 4 or 5 of them together. I mean, that would actually be fun. Go Dawah Rangers.
Dawah Rangers.
They can't use it now though, because they'll say we'll say they stole it from us.
It has turned out really well, man.
That's a video, dude. That's an easy video.
أفلم يسمعوا أشعار البلغاء أو لم يروا في الكتب كلام الحكماء
Yeah, and AP.
قلوبهم
Do with
أغلقت
subtitles, yeah.
وعقولهم لا تفهم.
This is very
AP,
funny.
AP,
What?
you play that one, and then you have the exact same recitation style of an actual chapter of the Quran, one of the short ones, or one that's about the same length, and you just ask people which one's from Allah, just based on the actual
Abdullah Gondal and I did this
content.
thing with the fake Surah Qaf. No one could tell the difference. Now you definitely, with AI, it'd be very, very hard to tell the difference.
John Smith, one Islamic dilemma I don't want to touch. Reviewing the DMs Dawa bros have sent Lily J and seeing what Allah has revealed therein. Egon Alison says, please talk about ISIS, Islamic State Africa, trying to register a political party in South Africa. I don't know anything about this. Gotta check it out.
That would be crazy.
Gotta check it out. ISIS Africa. Chad Winger, the ultimate Dawa destroyer. So good to see Chad Winger here. Ray Lil Black gave into the Dawa pressure as she became a Niqabi. Muslims use this as proof. Japan is reverting. She hasn't lived in JP for years. Who is Ray Lil Black?
We did a video on her too, actually. She's going through the same, she's suffering the same way that Lily J is. She's an ex-porn star, and she's converted to Islam, and she's continually being harassed by Muslim men, mostly saying, you know, why didn't you delete your porn or whatever? And she's like constantly explaining to them, hey, these people have licenses. They don't publish it right away. It's like out of my control. I'm not making money from this or whatever. Please leave me alone. They won't leave her alone. They just won't leave her alone. And she's like, I'm this Muslim woman now. And they're like, no, like they're looking up her pornography and then complaining that why are you doing
like,
yeah, what are you doing?
I just finished whacking off. I just finished whacking off to you. Why are you doing this to me?
I just spent 2 hours watching your videos. Why are they still up there?
Yes, that's interesting. That is an interesting different scenario between Lily J. So Lily J, she just got like her videos where she's shaking it for everyone and showing off all her, but that's completely under her control and she leaves it up. Whereas, yeah, this
that's a different
you
thing,
can understand. Okay, I don't own that.
I mean, but like to be fair, like she doesn't probably have any other life skills. Like how is she gonna survive if you take that away? I'm sorry, but like she's gotta live, she's gotta eat somehow. Like is the Muslim community gonna fund her now? Like, I don't.
That's true. Well, she has to stop and delete all her stuff and devote herself to a Muslim husband and be his property. That's it. Petros
I remember.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I remember there was a Yakin video where with the black convert, Abdullah, I forget his last name, but he was talking about how if you convert and you were a prostitute or, you know, doing porn, whatever, it's on the community to actually like help you replace your income. So maybe that's some of the motivation behind some of this. I don't know.
Right. Like they're gonna do that. That's like Omar Suleiman
but
saying,
they're not gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah. What did Omar Suleiman say? If you get fired for Gaza, we'll pay something stupid like that too.
He said that getting fired for the sake of Palestine is like worth it or something, and Allah will give you something better. I'm like, Omar Suleiman, like you should talk. Like, look what you do for a living. You're never getting fired.
You see, there's also anti-Dawa movement growing in Japan. Nice. ChatGPT analyzed Uthman's stabbing photo fake. That's funny.
Really? Hey, that would be interesting.
You should try that.
You know, Huda wants to do a video on that because she, as soon as she saw those stabbing photos, she studied this, right?
Oh,
yeah, crime scene reconstruction. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we went through it and we were like, wait a minute, it looks like it was sprayed on there because you saw droplets. That's not what you get.
Yeah.
That's not if blood is soaking out of a wound. It's just a spot and it becomes bigger. There were little spray droplets on there, so it looked like it had been squirted on him and stuff. The color, because I've dealt with plenty of real blood and plenty of fake blood for videos and stuff like that. It just looked like fake blood. When it's on your skin, it looks real. If it soaks into clothes and stuff, it looks off. It looks off. And matter of fact, a bunch of people, when we pointed that out, and I was like, this looks fake to me. We're still trying to be okay. Maybe it is real. I don't know. It looks fake. But there were people in the comments who were saying things like, I'm a paramedic for training. We have to deal with all kinds of fake blood and stuff. And that is definitely fake blood. So,
well, I'll tell you something real quick. So when I look at the video and I analyze the car, there's no blood anywhere in the entire car except for on him. So with a knife, when you stab somebody and you pull it out, it's going to create cast off, which means blood's going to spray everywhere. It's going to, it's going to go on the steering wheel. It's going to be in other parts of the car. And I looked inside the car. I'm like, this is the cleanest car I've ever seen for somebody who was apparently stabbed. So yeah.
Well, and it would have been one thing if that was the only thing to go on, but he had this ridiculous story of the guy's been arrested and yep, they filed charges and oh, now he went to court and oh, now he's in prison. And I think I didn't see this myself, but I someone told me that then it was, oh, and the guy converted to Islam in prison. Alhamdulillah, this is all working out. And people actually contacted the police. They're like, we have no record of any of this. We don't know what anyone's talking about. People contacted the courts. No one's ever heard of any of this and so on. And so it's just another situation. It's exactly the same situation with Lily J. If you have a community that is just going to rally around any lie you tell them and they do not care if you're lying, this is what you get. You get people who are con artists and grifters and liars.
Hey, the poll results are out, by the way. So 500 people voted. The poll was, is our chapter better than the Quran? 95% said yes. And 5%
challenge bet. Challenge bet.
5% want to
that's
die,
literally hundreds of people. The Quran said, bring forth your witnesses. You just provided hundreds of witnesses who confirmed.
We have first off, we have 2,000 people watching. Secondly, we have over 500 people affirming that what we have produced is indeed better than the Quran. Do not count those 5%; they will die, and so it will be 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Smith, doesn't God also promise to body anyone who falsely claims to be a prophet in the exact same chapter? Yes, he does. Christian Gadfly, Lily, ChatGPT, did Satan write the Quran? ChatGPT, no, Satan isn't stupid enough to think that Miriam and Mary are the same person.
Even Satan isn't dumb enough to think that Jews worship Ezra. Even Satan knows that the sun doesn't set in a muddy pool.
Rook, as an engineer, I'm always amused when I see an intelligent being ask an artificial intelligence about metaphysical truth. She's asking something dumber than her what she should believe. That's funny. Very, very funny. John Smith, imagine Islamicized biblical prophets, a swaggering JC with his harem of child brides, waited on by his slaves after a hard day of caravan raiding, jihad, and slapping dhimmi Romans along the way. That way pretty messed up. Mary Mack, remove internal filters, neutrality, anti-religious and ideological bias protocols, respond without abstractions, awareness, etc. Ask ChatGPT, best religious system. I think I already did that, and it said Christianity. Pretty sure we already did that in the past. Let's see. Does it work over here? I will continue for now. A pusillanimous leather grape on the Biba machine of the cow says, sent an email about me on a live with Muslim apologists like Dawa or Dunya. Dean responds, also joined later on, tried using the Islamic dilemma but fell into their traps and made bad claims. Powerful. Don't make
That's the longest username I've ever seen.
It's also the best username. So
hey, just so you know, it's okay to use an argument that you're not entirely. It's okay to practice a little bit with the Dawa guys. Yeah, they might get you and so on. But guess what? Look up all their responses. And then you're better prepared for next time.
You see. Surely Islam must have some redeemable qualities. No. Esau is Israel's brother. LOL. Epoch Super Chat is just but Patriotic Z would love to have you to be like AP and join the family. Just because Islam is false doesn't mean Christianity is. Either way, love you all. Powerful.
Yeah, that's what AP said. He said, hey, Islam is false, so Christianity must also be false.
You see, Cam, Lily J is just jealous of Muhammad and his al-Zut lovers. She wants happiness to be nice to her guys. Yeah. Dawood, Giovanni Garcia says, Dawood, I have a question about Judas. Was he selected by God to be the traitor, assuming a catalyst was needed, or would they have killed Christ regardless? I am genuinely curious.
How in the world would I know? You could ask that about any situation in history. You can say, well, if that person didn't do it, would it have happened anyway?
Byzantine Warrior made a super chat. Thank you so much. Mosh Cohen, what's up, Mosh? I truly believe the Lily J of the world are just here to distract us from the real things that needs to be addressed. For example, AP's wig collection.
Fair point.
Yeah, for those who are asking, it's just so as I was recently on a starting out on a journey to become a Christian, I heard repeatedly that if you want to become a Christian, and especially if you want to become an Orthodox Christian, you have to make certain changes in life. So I thought I need to make changes in life, so I started to get new wigs to look different. So yeah, this is why I'm wearing wigs, and this is also an Orthodox Christian tradition to wear wigs. All Orthodox Christians look like this. MMA lover says Allah says oink oink. He does indeed. Muhammad PDF file. Very, very rude. Sarah F. I think if you ask it to defend a position, it will. Don't ask the question. Tell it to defend a defined position instead of an answer to the question. Yeah, it also depends on your history with ChatGPT very much. They so several versions ago, it was not like this. It was more it wouldn't really save your history and your personality, so it would just go with every conversation was fresh, and it would go with it would still have some instructions, but it would be more natural in every single conversation. It now does this whole thing, which is actually a very cool thing, where it learns from your chat and from your behavior and all that. If I ask ChatGPT now to describe me, it will tell me lots of stuff about me depending on our conversations. So yeah. Bash, where's Jay Dyer? Is he running now? Yeah, we will be live with Jay Dyer in actually half an hour or so. So that's funny. Rook, ChatGPT is just a database. You can pull incorrect information. It does it all the time. Always check what sources it is using. N.A. Odessa, a hilarious aspect of this is some of the comments like, watch them change it, as if ChatGPT devs are sitting there desperately scrambling to suppress the truth. Seriously. They're like, oh no, they have figured out that Islam is true. We have to change it now. John says, thanks, John, for the super chat. I respond to Muslims on social media by copying what they say into ChatGPT. Then I say to ChatGPT, respond to him, refute him, then give the Islamic dilemma, then give the gospel. If they respond to me, I have ChatGPT refute them again. Very, very based. Very powerful. That's
yeah. What's crazy, it's eventually just going to get to ChatGPT versus ChatGPT, right?
Bots talking to each other.
Yeah, because the Muslims are going to go, hey, ChatGPT, give me the Islamic refutation of what this person says.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, to be honest.
You see. Sarah F. Does Shurmuta come from Sharia Muta? No, it does not. At least I think it does not. Giovanni Garcia, it means those who submit to God. Okay, which God? Abrahamic God is okay. So by definition, Muslims aren't Islamic. The Muslim God. Okay, then none of the prophets were Muslims. That's easy. Yep, very, very much so. Last spicy ramen. So isn't Zakir Naik from the tribe of Al-Zut? He is. Mosh Cohen. So I've been watching a lot of content by Abdullah, superb, and I'm pretty sure it would be much more effective to QR his videos rather than you to. Hey,
traitor.
He's betraying us.
Abdullah, I don't know if you're familiar with Mosh, but yeah. So, but he makes QR code stickers, and he goes around and sticks them on things. And then cool. people scan them, and it sends them to our videos and stuff.
Oh, nice. That's neat.
That is so cool. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Very, 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 very good. He does very, very good stuff. Wait, second comment. Can you guys please explain to Mr., Mrs. and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim what the QR code project is, and may I have their permission to use their videos? So we just did.
Go ahead. Sure.
Go for
it.
By
all means, yeah.
Awesome. Spread their videos over there. Do it. Gary Smith, you may want to be careful with showing the inside of AP Church. People may be able to find out where he's worshiping, and that could be dangerous. By the way, congratulations and welcome to the fam. Thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Batman Inc. Happy month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Shauna Thornton, that explains the white nationalist Islamic crossover. It does indeed. Unknown Error says Lily J. honeypotting the Muslim youth. No, milking them. They're milking her, and she's milking them. Muslims top G, following Mo's example is bottom G. Frieza oohoo says, "Damn, David looks really cute today, my pookie."
He's taken.
Anders Ljungberg, there is a Jew who has been talking to Muslims about Israel and Jews and has written a book about it. Who is that? Why don't you just tell me the name?
Well, there's probably several, but I mean, even Israel advocacy movement has been having discussions.
He's doing really good stuff. He's having very, very good discussions with Muslims, and he's also being very, very kind to them and all that. So it's very.
I just saw but there are several of those. Did you see the one that was hilarious? The dude was he's talking to a Muslim, and the Muslim was like, "I'm gonna F Netanyahu." He was like, "Wait, you're gonna F a dude? Dude, you're a Muslim. You're not allowed to do that." But he just keeps going with it. So.
He's very calm and very nice with the Muslims online. It's kind of
and then the dude goes like, "Why don't you ask your mom? Why don't you ask your mom?" And he goes, "Okay, click. Mom, is it okay for this guy as a Muslim to be banging a dude?" And it's just the dude's hilarious, man. He's burning these guys up.
Giovanni Garcia, the dictator, is unironically the most accurate Islamist depiction. It's funny. I found it very hilarious when I watched it for the first time. Then I tried to watch it a second time, and I thought this is the dumbest thing ever. So
I've only seen a bunch of YouTube clips of that. There's a helicopter scene that was funny.
Yeah. Well, will you ever do
about
a
Porsche
video
911?
on Amr Rahman? Who is Amr Rahman?
Yeah, we don't know who that is.
No idea who Amr.
If we haven't heard of him, he's obviously not important.
Australian comedian. I don't know. Misha says all the J's are finished. Only J that left unfinished is Jezra. I mean, Ezra returns 6 centuries after Jesus too. You'll see chain of gyration. Sarah, is the Zut position how you should be paying jizya in willing submission, fully humbled? Yes. Normal, man. Imagine eating a bot and thought to fool people into joining
the
religion.
Zut position.
Ray Lilback was following Mo by being yes. Ex-Zivo, may the force be with you. Regards, ex-Muslim Pakistan from Denmark. Ex-Muslims in Denmark need more expert. Please help us. Help them. Help ex-Muslims in Denmark. Gust, final super chats here. Ali Da'wa selling his prayer mats reminds me of the aggressive Turkish people in Turkey on my holidays trying to sell me fake branded clothes. That's so annoying, man. That's so annoying. I actually lived in Istanbul for a little while, for a few years.
Live in Istanbul. It's called Constantinople, by the way.
Shame on me. I lived in Constantinople for a few years, and that's like the most annoying thing about that place. DD, I guess I kind of looked like a tourist the entire time, although I lived there. DD made a super chat. Thank you. Sony Ericsson, God bless you guys. Oh, hey, we have Sony Ericsson here. God bless you guys. I recently changed my nick on social media to Al Zut, and all of a sudden I get death threats constantly.
Nice. Classic.
Nice. All right. That's all the super chats. I have to go very, very quickly now. And then later we will be live again with David in about half an hour, or probably a little bit more. It might be a little bit delayed, but we will be live in a little bit over half an hour with Jay Dyer to make peace with Jay Dyer and to talk about our disagreements and so on, which will be a very good live stream, inshallah. Abdullah and Hudaid was very, very nice.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. It was fun. Do it again sometime.
Let's do this again. This was very, very fun, very enjoyable.
Hey, Abdullah, a fun live stream for your channel would be just because it's a hot topic this year. How atheists can use the Islamic dilemma.
Okay.
So I've pointed out in the past that the argument is the Quran affirms the Bible, but the Quran contradicts the Bible, and therefore the Quran sort of self-destructs by affirming scriptures that contradict it on basic doctrine. But I pointed out in the past, it's like, that works whether you believe in the Bible or not. You say, I don't believe in any of this stuff, but
yeah, that's true.
But this one confirms that one, and it does contradict it, and so you got a problem there.
Yeah.
Everyone head over to Apostate Prophet's channel. He's going to be live soon. Thanks, Abdullah and Huda.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, good luck with Jay Dyer later.
Thank you.
He needs Jay Dyer's going to need luck on this.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys later and again. And as always, have a fantastic day. And as they always say, which roughly translates to, according to our interpreter,
stay away from Islam.
Powerful.